in a lot of trouble, though. We'll be able to lock him down. The turret comes out. I believe that is 1 of 2 for the time being.
That cap at top was the motivation that they needed to keep in this game.
Seems to be quite the game indeed. We'll see a catch up again. Still a favor for ABM, but at least by the most, making it a little bit closer.
Yourself to death. So you gotta fire up.
Team ABM, though, they are so far ahead. In fact, 4 points away, and there we go. That'll do it. Team ABM is victorious.
That is amazing. So all of a sudden already, this game is in ABM's favor.
Datacus is out of mana. Derivative's about to run out of mana. Dance is almost out of mana. They can't keep this team up for much longer.
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to Gamers League Fight Night 1. My name is Desecration, and today I am joined back by my esteemed panel of analysts and casters. We have a great show lined up for you today. Main event of the evening, of course, being Team Datacus versus Team ABN with preliminaries of E-Heroes versus Naz. Joining me today is my fellow caster, Breaky CPK. He was the head caster of Heroes of New Earth. Of course, RBG leader and esteemed personality, Gilneas. Along with that, European leader and personality Spidey, and of course the one, the only Belly Casco. Guys, how is it going today? How are you guys feeling?
Good, man.
Going great. Can't
I'm
so excited. I am pumped for this tournament. I have not been this excited for a long time. This was actually 2 weeks ago since the battle for the Atlantic.
It's big, you know, we are back again. It's exciting. So, guys, we have a great show lined up for you today, and right before we get into that, we have, of course, the great Gamers League Fight Night preview show, where we're going to be breaking down the 4 teams for you guys and breaking them down, giving our predictions and what we think on them. So, guys, we could get basically the rosters up right now. Let's get right into it. So, we have our 4 teams: USA Proxy, PKB, SX6, ABN, the returning champions from the Battle of the Atlantic, Team Trendsetters, led by the one and only Datacus. We have E-Heroes, led by, of course, Swacky, and, of course, Team Naz, with the one and only Naz on it. So it's not like the Tro team, unfortunately. But I do want to get into these teams real quick. So let's start with USA Proxy, PKB, SX6, ABN. I want to break down their roster right now. So we've got ABN, Unseen, Slip, Asper, Smexon, Phil, Vo, Adam, Rookery, Blake, Oz, Exaru, Stand Strong, Peekaboo, and Elite. I'm actually going to start with you, Gigas. Now, what do you think of their lineup? And coming off of the Battle of the Atlantic, what do you think their chances are coming into this tournament?
I think their lineup is really, really strong. One of the great things about Team ABN is his just pure throughput and how he sets up his team. So I'm really excited to see them play. A little worried about how they're going to play tonight. I know they haven't gotten a lot of practice in basically at all this past week or 2 weeks since the Battle of the Atlantic. So hopefully, you know, they're going to bring the same A game that they brought that won them the last tournament. But we'll see.
Honestly, I think they've proved their point from the last tournament. They've kind of shown how strong their team really is, even with the kind of mixing with their rosters and changing composition around. Obviously, ABN switching onto that rogue, bringing in a double DK with staying strong. I think, honestly, they're going to have to show tonight that they're the best in the USA as well as Europe.
I 100% agree with both of you. ABN's team is always going to come prepared. I feel like even though they didn't get that much practice, their players are all very skillful, and they can make up with that with just their individual gameplay.
Yeah, and we saw that in the E-Heroes ABN series in the finals. 4-1. I mean, this is E-Heroes we're talking about, a team that 3-0'd every single one of their competitors coming up to their final game. And for ABN to just 4-1 them, I mean, this is a team that is truly legendary. Talking about their roster real quick, we have a few players that we really want to look out for. They are bringing back Asper as well, along with Phil DK. Now, these two guys, they're very strong players. Asper, of course, was really just a boomy to look out for the last tournament. And of course, with Phil, how do you guys think that lineup is really going to impact them going into these games? Do you think that that's going to give them a really big advantage?
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge. Like you said, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on Asper and even Smexen as well. Slip or whoever they have to play in the lock, they might bring Joey or Oz in for that lock slot. So those three main DPS are what I'm going to be keeping my eye on because you're going to see a lot of these DKs end up having to go blood on FC maps, etc. So really what I want to focus on are those warriors and those locks. How are they interacting together? And is the booming keeping that spread pressure up and really topping the charts?
I'd honestly like to see an unholy DK come out today. Like a lot since 6.2's kind of hit. Obviously with the new meta changing, bringing Shadow Priest back into the game with obviously extremely high damage with the Cascade. I honestly think if you roll an unholy DK, an Athlete Lock, a Shadow Priest together, and maybe even a Boomkin, that they can really bring back that kind of rock comp and really assert some high pressure onto teams.
Yeah, I don't think we have actually a Shadow Priest here on Team ABN though, right? So we're gonna have to see that in another team if we're gonna see that Shadow Priest setup.
Yes,
they do.
They have Gorku, but
they do.
No, that is on Trendsetters. Never mind.
Yeah, Garok's on.
That's what I thought.
Team Datacus.
Yeah, that is okay. Yeah, so they do not have a Shadow Priest, which is quite surprising going into this. I mean, they don't have one priest in general, which is really
ABN is saying, nah, forget that class.
They're breaking the meta here. I'm surprised at
priest
that.
healers have a major issue with mobility right now. Like it's hard for them to get from one spot to the other without getting slowed a lot. They have good healing when they can just sit in a team fight, but they're not very mobile compared to like our druids or monks right now.
But the buzz with the Shadow Priest lately, though, man, I would expect, since ABN does go for that throughput in his comps and his players, I would expect him to have a top-tier Shadow Priest here just to top the meter. That's what I would expect, but you know, he didn't do it. Team Datacus did though, and maybe we'll see that might upset things later on. So.
Yeah, let's actually talk about Team Datacus real quick. So they have actually rebranded. They're now no longer HeyQ Gub ABN. They are Team Trendsetters for this tournament. And I want to go through their roster real quick. So we've got Datacus, BCBY, Tyler, Derivative, Vigorous, Vamps, iMongo the Hunter, Pharaoh, Moonfall, Articuno, Snuggle Bunny, Luke, Jordan, Nicholas, and Gobfather. Now, this is a really great power lineup. I mean, they're bringing in the two priests there. They brought back Vamps, the incredible Mistweaver monk from the last tournament, had just a great amount of cocoons. Tyler, of course, the god of damage warlock. They have a powered lineup, and they've really been practicing pretty hard this week. How do you think that's going to reflect in this tournament itself?
Well, I mean, their changes that they've done to their team this week have been numerous, but they've put together a lot of effort to make sure that the synergy, you know, is happening. They've been doing a lot of practices together, which is going to be good. I don't think you're actually going to see Jordan come out on the Disc Priest too much. I think the healing comp you're going to see out of Trendsetters is Datacus on the Arduid with Derivative on Holy Paladin and in a Mistweaver Monk or maybe Jordan on Priest. I don't think you're going to see it, and the reason being because Datacus is going to have to focus on placement for his healing comp in order to keep his team up against a team with such high damage like Team ABN. So I don't know if we'll see that Priest on every single map.
Obviously, Life Grip PS and the kind of shielding that Disc Priest offers right now, I still think it's, even with the mobility being maybe a slight issue, I still think with Feathers and everything else with Discs, are still one of the strongest healers in the game right now. Just for RBGs in particular, obviously Arena, they've been buffed us a little bit as well, obviously with the changes to Saving Grace. But I wouldn't run without a disc. I think you need that kind of shielding. I think it can save a team when you least need it. I think it's still one of the best defensive healers you could ever go with.
Right. Keep in mind they're going to have the grip and the MD from the Shadow Priest, which I bet you will see out of Team Datacus. He's going to bring that Shadow Priest that's going to top damage meters. Guaranteed.
But that's the thing, like, do you want your Shadow Priest to sacrifice to kind of use this utility, or do you want your Shadow Priest to just gun for damage? Do you want him to get that throughput to be able to push and wipe teams, you know, at a faster rate? Or do you want him to become more, like, use his utility more effectively to kind of support the team?
Yeah, I think anytime in the team fight, you're going to see Garok just putting up numbers. That's all Datacus is going to want out of him, realistically. Maybe MD, full clones on healers, so that's about it.
Yeah. Now Breaky, actually, we saw in it was one of the matches that we were casting. It was the Datacus versus ABN series, or not ABN. It was by Lamo series, right? Yeah. He got that legendary pick on that mid flag on Eye of the Storm. It was literally not even 20 seconds into the game, and he picks up the mid flag, and they already have it over to the base. Do you guys think that we're going to see something like that this tournament, or do you think that's just a one and done thing, and these teams have more than learned their lesson by this point?
Hey, you know what? I'm looking for the unexpected, obviously, and I think we definitely got that last week as well, or the last event that is, with a lot of crazy play, a lot of just close calls, man. I mean, not only that what you're talking about there with the flat pickup on Eye of the Storm, but we also had the Silvershine Mines game that came down to what I think is like 7 points.
7 points. He measured it with his fingers. Yeah. Wow. That was the play of the game.
I'm hoping for just good finishes like that, big plays, which I'm sure we'll see plenty of here tonight. So.
Absolutely. All right, so guys, let's go ahead and let's get moving on here. I want to talk about the preliminary fights real quick. And so for the prelims, we have E-Heroes versus Team Naz, and these are the two teams which are going to be coming up right now. So E-Heroes, it's going to be led by Swaggy the Warrior. They've got Jellu Baba on Mage, Holy Paladins WE, Panzer Henk, Lurtex, VPR, Melby, Waltrix, Imbajan, Amobia, and Broad. So this is really their power lineup. They've got the 10 players, not a lot of subs this time around, which is surprising, but they have a good amount of color in there when it comes to this team. I mean, they have the double rogue too, which is pretty interesting.
Okay, so the main thing you can point out first is Imbajon has been a rogue that's always kind of floated around in their team quite a lot. He's played with them for the past, I guess, 3 or 4 seasons now. Imbajon's well known on Europe for being what we would call a speed capper. He's one of the people that have gone away, thought about what items and what stuff you could do, generally ninja bases and speed cap to an advantage. He's got a very good understanding of how to play rogue. He was, I think it's one of the top people in Europe to actually win duels. He spent a lot of time just learning how to 1v1, and that's what kind of gives him a huge advantage.
Yeah. Honestly, dueling is very important in RPGs. Like, there's so many different situations where you need to 1v1, and if you're able to take on most classes, if you have at least 10k duels played or won, like, it's gonna be very hard to beat you in like a 1v1 in Deep Wind, like on Pandaren Mind or Goblin Mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm definitely excited to see Lurtex and Imajon play coming out of E-Heroes. I like what you were saying about the double rogue team, and maybe you could walk me through this, Smitey, but they have made like a healer change, right? Since last week, I noticed Winky's not on their roster anymore. Who is this new guy, Holy Pala?
Winky chose to leave the team. They've brought in Holy Pally Sui. Holy Pally Sui is another renowned rank 1 gladiator, Holy Paladin. He's been playing with a few different teams this season. He is what we would like to call a Live Lord Paladin. He's one of the people you can sit there, you can train him, but he just won't bubble. It's
I see. Okay.
He just survives. It's really frustrating to play against him at the moment.
You could ultimately spend too much time attacking him.
Basically, yeah, you could waste a lot of time into it. Another big thing about Lurtex is he's not just a gladiator rogue. He is a rank 1 gladiator Shadow Priest, and he has got that option to play that Shadow Priest in this tournament as well. So
yeah, I'm excited to watch Lurtex play.
I think we might see Lurtex coming out on the Shadow Priest with just Imbajon focusing on the rogue right now.
That would be awesome.
Maybe go for some ninja caps there or something like that. Do you think that they'll pull up the double rogue this time?
I do think they might pull out the double rogue on certain maps, but we'll have to wait and see for that.
I would like to see it, but I don't know. An EU team doing something crazy, they play so safe over there. I don't think E-Heroes is going to do it. I think we might see it tonight, but I don't think it's going to come out of E-Heroes if we do.
Never know. Hey, so let's move on here to our final team of the evening, and that's going to be Team Naz. Now, these guys, they have reformed. It's a little bit of a mixture here. It's the Average Joes, Team Naz. They've kind of like merged a little bit. They got a lot of different people on their team, and it's a new reform. And I want to read down their list real quick. So they've got Sirius, Naz, of course, the RBG leader. We've got Visions, Cry, Janico, Oda Juice, Terran, Medang, IDs, Meridigion, I don't know how to pronounce that, Clarity, Rock Lobster, Kylie, GSP, and Narc on Rogue. So a pretty colorful lineup, a lot of green I see in there. They're bringing out the Mistweavers and the Hunters, and it looks like they're running also kind of a little bit of a melee in there too with a lot of Druids. So talk me through that, guys. What do you think of Team Naz's chances against E-Heroes tonight?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's made in Oregon, but that's the guy's name, Made in Oregon.
Made in Oregon, okay.
Three different words, yeah. But yeah, I know what you're saying about the colors. I think you're right. There's a lot of mixed green in there and a lot of orange too. You know, we don't see as much the heavy stacked boomies anymore. It looks like he's probably going to do like a PH DK with a Hunter, DK Warrior. And then I think you're going to see the Mistweaver come out to heal him. I would be really interested to see Sirius on his Arjud too. He's a really good lock, really solid lock, and I think he would do really good on a hot class. So I'm excited to see Team Naz play. I think they can get a couple games against E-Heroes, maybe this series. We'll see.
Ooh, okay.
We've talked about the possibility of they might come out and 4 heal in on some maps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not too, I'm not too sure on the kind of roster changes for Team Naz, but what 4 healers do you reckon they would switch to?
They'd probably bring in Rock Lobster. They would definitely bring in the Arduid for the extra heal, either on Rock Lobster or Serious heals. They might even, I think GSB is actually a damage booming, so they probably won't bring him in. But like a Janny TKO and Serious heals, something like that, where they'll bring in one of their DPS to heal instead. Which is a great advantage of the tournament setup too, to be able to do that. Know the games beforehand and really match your comp to what you want to get done.
Absolutely. Belly, what do you think about Team Naz? What do you think about their chances here? Haven't heard too much from you. Oh well. Guess he's not there.
DC
okay,
DC issues.
Yeah, that's all good. All right, so I want to bring it back here real quick to the other teams of the night. So we've got for Trendsetters now, we've heard a lot of rumors, and we've heard them saying that they are going to be bringing out something that we've never seen before. And I think that judging by their roster, they've got the rainbow comp you guys were talking about earlier, which is one of every class out there. They've got all the buffs, they've got all the utility, they have something that every class brings to the table. This could very well be a comp that they run, just judging by their roster. Do you guys think that that's going to work against Team ABN?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's going to put a lot of pressure on Team ABN, because basically what Trendsetters is saying is we're going to maximize what we're doing as a team. We're going to allow each player to specialize in their individual abilities and use that to our advantage, which is kind of the opposite of what Team ABN is doing. Team ABN is just saying we're going to have the better DPS or the better HPS, and we're going to give up certain buffs and certain compositional synergies in order to do that. If they can't get a kill on one of the healers from Trendsetters, it's going to be a long, hard fight for Team ABN.
Yeah, exactly. All right, very nice. Well, we'll take it back here real quick. We're about to get into game 1 after our quick break, but we'll talk about these last 2 teams really quick that are going to be coming up, eHeroes and Team Naz. I mean, eHeroes, of course, they 3-0'd their series. Team Naz, a very strong team coming into this tournament, completely reformed, ready to go. Belly Casco, I asked you this question while you were away. I believe you're back now.
Oh, yeah,
Talk to me about
I'm
the
here now.
eHeroes and Team Naz series. What do you think about that?
I feel like eHeroes is the obvious favorite, but I feel like Naz might come out with some unconventional strategies like 4 healing. I've versed them, and they were able to turtle very well in the Twin Peaks house in the middle of the map using their 4 heal strat. It depends on kind of the DPS that they are running. Like, it could go honestly either way, but I feel like eHeroes has to be considered the favorite just because they just how they played versus ABN last tournament.
Yeah, I think you could definitely easily say that eHeroes is the favorite for this first matchup. But again, like you were saying, Team Naz was reformed. Now Naz is on there. That's kind of like, their go-to cheerleader, their team mascot. It's actually where they got their name. He's the guy leading everything. So that's got to reinvigorate them.
Of the team.
And to be invited back, from the last battle in the Atlantic, that's saying something right there. If I was that team, I would be stoked to come up and show a better showing than I did last time and really prove to the world that our team, can represent on RBGs.
Amen. All right, cool. Well, guys, that concludes the Battle of the Atlantic pregame show. We're going to go to a quick commercial break here.
Fight Night.
Fight Night.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness.
Fight Night.
Still 2 weeks back. All right. But when we come back from this break, we're going to be getting into Series 1 of the night, the prelims. It's going to be Team Naz versus Team eHeroes. Guys, we will be right back.
There's a new life waiting. Your head's buried in the Just carry on, carry on, carry on. Because you are your own hand, can't imagine how you feel. Only you know that.
All right, guys, and welcome back. We are back from that break, and ladies and gentlemen, we have the first map of the night. It's going to be Battle for Gilneas. No surprise here, Team Naz versus Team eHeroes. I want to break down this map real quick. So, Reiki, you and me were talking earlier. It's really an all-or-nothing map. That one mid-fight can really determine the whole output of the game.
Yeah, we saw Waterworks again. Obviously, is that point of contention. I actually brought this up to some analysts. Last night we are kind of talking about them strategies and everything, and basically make the point. I mean, that's always going to be the point of contention. It just doesn't make sense to really do anything else as far as, sending the most characters to. So we're going to see contention at the Waterworks. Now, again, a couple of the games that we saw in the last event, there could be fights that basically last the whole time almost, just about to the whole time near the very end. So that also makes it a little bit more important, getting that first cap too. We even saw in that one game, I forget the matchup that it was, where one team basically got the cap, a second before. So they're something like 2 points ahead while they're still fighting at Waterworks the whole time. So make sure you get that, and then obviously contesting at Waterworks, and then look for the ninjas because it's fairly easier on this map compared to others. So
it's truly a ping pong match, is what we saw last game, especially in the Datacus versus Bailamo series of the Battle of the Atlantic. It was a ping pong match going back and forth. Trinkets would be popped on one side, the other team would melt. Team would pick themselves back up, reverse the pressure on the other side, they would melt, and it just goes back and forth until one team croaks under the pressure. Now, we saw that going in, and I think that we're going to see very similar strategies again into this tournament because, as we all know, the trinkets have been changed, and of course, Shadow Priest are really in the meta right now, so they're going to be pumping out massive, massive pressure when we get into this mid-team fight. It could really come down to ninja caps too, I think, because we saw in the ABN series, the first match against Bailamos, it was the 3-cap right off the bat, and it looks like, I mean, honestly, Team E-Heroes or Naz could very well look to line that up in the first game here.
Yeah, would not be surprised. Sorry, but yeah, we should go to the analysts, guys. You guys are the ones that can break us down, but going into the match. So, Battle for Gilneas, what do you guys think?
Well, I can tell you right now, there are a couple ways that map can go. You could just spin that third Waterworks forever until, like you were saying, one of the team fights proves to be victorious. Or the other option is, like you were saying, you win the team fight pretty quickly. You res your team, you rebuff, you go back in, then you wipe the enemy team, you get the node, and that's that ping pong that you were talking about. And of course, the third option where, like you were saying, the ninjas on either LH or mines. And also with the opening cap for points, depending on who you have sitting, what class they are, how quickly they can get to that node, and what side you get, either Horde or Alliance, you can have a slight point advantage on Gilneas like any of the other maps. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy out of E-Heroes. I think they're going to go for the team fight. They want to win that team fight and put Team Naz in the graveyard. I think Team Naz, if they go toe-to-toe in that team fight, is really saying something, which is going to be awesome to see. And if they don't, they definitely have the composition to do the other things in the map.
I'd like to see the possibility maybe a double rogue. I'd like to see Imbajon and Lurtex go together and try and steal Lighthouse or Mines in this case. I think, this could build even more pressure, and then obviously sending one rogue back into a team fight, a rogue makes a massive difference in the team fight right now. Obviously with stability and the combat changes, sub being a more popular spec now for RBGs in particular, just going in, cheaping everything, checking out its dance on something, using the death from above. I think double rogue could be really strong for this map right now.
Smitey, I have a question for you. How often on EU do they actually go for that third base? How often do they ghost a node? Is that something that happens a lot or happens at all?
It depends when you say ghosting. Like sometimes they send the boomkin already back to go and watch the other base, or they send a mage back already to go and kind of support the base if it's kind of already being left, I guess, to ghost it. I think it was yesterday they 4-capped a couple of teams on Eye of a Storm just from stealing bases. So they do it quite often.
Okay. I want to ask you, Smitey, actually, in the pregame there, we were talking about the possibility of seeing a 4-heal lineup, and Team Naz was that team. Would this be a map where you could see them breaking it out, or would it be something else?
If I feel that...
sorry,
Go on, CJ.
I'm just saying, I don't think this is a map that 4 healing's that useful. Unless you have a healer set a base. I could see an H Pally sitting mines, maybe, just to try to hold it, and then in case they're wiping, they can have the healer go in the team fight just to keep the Waterworks fight going on for a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's possible, but I wouldn't say this is a 4-heal map.
This isn't. I don't think so.
Gotcha.
It is possible though. You don't want to completely rule it out.
I can see them 4-healing if they don't feel their team fight's going to be strong enough. If they're not as confident with their healers, they could 4-heal it just to try and play as safe as possible, and maybe push for a ninja cap on top of that. Just spin the node over and over again. Have 4 healers, and for example, like a warrior and a DK spinning a node, and then sending maybe Rogue and Boomkin to go and push the third base. Try and split up E-Heroes, stop them from going for that kind of team fight meta that they want to play. That would take a lot to kind of pull off.
Yeah, I'm getting word in game right now. We're just having a quick issue with the queue, but we should be able to get that resolved in just a moment here. But obviously for this map here, it's you can start it with the early pressure strat, or you can go for the long haul, trying to focus those bases. Do you guys think that? I think that we talked about this a little earlier, but do you think that they're going to try anything extreme? Maybe hit up Lighthouse from the beginning? Or
I think if you're going to see anything extreme, you're going to see it out of Team Naz.
I think
Team Naz could do something like that.
Honestly,
he could sit the base then ghost and try to hit LH or vice versa, or he could call his rogue off from the team fight, and he could still sit while the rogue attacks. I don't think E-Heroes would fall for the rogue attack, though.
No, they might. I wouldn't completely
Maybe.
say that. Yeah, but honestly, Team Naz needs to calibrate their expectations for the team fight. Like honestly, they're gonna have to win on strategy. Maybe going for the ninja. I feel like E-Heroes obviously has a stronger team fight. So like, yeah, they actually might. The more I think about it, they might go for a ninja off the start.
Well, I agree that strategy is going to be their best friend, but I think you'll actually see them try the team fight. Just go toe to toe, see how they measure up.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they'll do better than most people are giving them credit for. I think they actually will show up and perform.
Exactly. I think that, this being game one, not only of this matchup here, but of all of today, the band getting things started. I think it's safe to say, kind of a feeler game, as the term has been used many times in whatever series for. So the feeler game, you may not expect them to be able to contest, but at the same time, why not give it a shot? If it works, and obviously great. If it doesn't, then you got other games to fall back on in this sense. But
yeah, exactly. Best of 5 for the first round here, and best of 7 for the main event. But for the prelims here, it will be best of 5. So they only have to win 3 games. Is the only thing. So. Yeah. This one game does not determine the whole series.
Well, the other thing too, this was E-Heroes map, correct?
Yes, it is. They do pick the first map.
Yeah, that's another thing for
they're very confident
Team
in
Naz.
Yeah.
I think another big thing to kind of notice is obviously Team Naz have come in with kind of a new roster. They've brought in new people. E-Heroes have not really seen this team play together. They've probably not played against them on ladder. I don't think they've had enough time to play on US ladder yet. They've seen E-Heroes play. They know how they play. They've seen a whole tournament of them play. They see plenty of streams of them playing. They have a higher advantage of knowing how E-Heroes are going to play this tournament, how they're going to try and play these games. So they've had plenty of time to kind of prepare for it, compared to E-Heroes being able to compete with Team Naz.
I think the great thing about Team Naz too is really just having Naz on the team again. They're going to rally around that. And on this Gilneas map, it's not going to hurt them to go for that team fight. Even if it's a feeler like you're saying and it wipes them, they're going to have to do that strat, the off strats eventually, either with the Hunter or the Rogue hitting the other bases. So why not go to that waterworks, feel out the team fight? You could possibly win it, and if you do, great, then you could win the whole game. And that's really going to put E-Heroes on their heels. So hopefully the opening of this game should be really exciting and set the pace a little bit for what E-Heroes is going to have to face in order to win this first round.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it, on this map, anybody with stealth is someone to really watch here. You've got a lot of rogues that are probably going to be in this fight. They may well bring out the druid. With that kind of stealth, possibly the mage even too. With that kind of stealth, it just gives you the power to go off and get those ninja caps set off the bat. One of these teams, they may well try and go for that early kind of ninja, like we saw in the ABN by Alamos series. And the thing about it, it could really change the game and just throw them off their morale if they get ninja caps right off front start. Don't you guys think?
Or if you really don't believe in your team fight too, just the ninja cap off the start could peel enough out of the team fight, to maybe put it in your favor, depending on who gets out and who doesn't.
Now, I kind of brought this up yesterday, but we're going to have live here now. For Battle for Gilneas, one of the things that I noticed too watching last week's matches was we saw a couple of times one of the teams where you have, say, a Hunter defending one of the nodes. Mine in this case, I believe it was. There was still a big contention for Waterworks that wasn't capped yet. He actually left mines to go try to ninja Lighthouse and actually just left mines completely open. Do you think we could see that tonight as well? And why so? Why would a team do that?
It depends on how the team fight's going. If a team fight's not really leaning in your favor, you could always go for that kind of ghosting a node, sending the pressure onto the third base. Like, this will drag at least 1, maybe 2 players back. It's going to kind of push the team fight more in your favor. Obviously, them losing a player, mainly a damage dealer, because it's not going to be a healer that's going to try and sacrifice themselves. It would be too risky for that. Especially with a Hunter that's a really strong 1v1 class right now. If he comes up against a mage or even a rogue, the Hunter can pretty much always force at least the trinket or even the block from a mage, for example, or hopefully a trinket from a rogue. It makes it a really kind of risky, but it can be a really smart play at times.
Yeah, it's really what separates the good leaders from the mediocre leaders too. These are both top tier teams, so the window to actually ghost your base is very fine. And for a leader to see that window, take advantage of it, send somebody off to ghost the base. Is it still risky? Yes, absolutely. But there are windows and there are safe ways to do it. If anyone's going to be able to pull it off, it's going to be Team Naz. I don't think we're going to see it coming out of E-Heroes, but I could eat my words.
Never know. We'll have to see here getting into the first game. Just waiting on the queue here still, guys. Teams are having a few issues. We know that Vadrak was actually able to resolve a lot of that stuff with the cross-faction add-on. I think there was like a little bug in there, and he was actually able to fix in his add-on over the Blizzard command, which was really cool. But We're just waiting for these teams to be able to get ready right now and get in the game one, so that's what is taking so long. But we should be back. We're actually going to cut to a quick break here, but when we come back, we should hopefully have game one ready to go for you guys. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and after a few technical difficulties, we're not going to let them bring us down tonight. We're about to get into game one here. It's going to be Team Naz versus E-Heroes. The queue has popped, and we are about to get into the game. Guys, what an exciting matchup. Breaky, talk me through this. You know, we've got Battle for Gilneas starting out here on the first map. Really great starter. I'm really excited to see these teams go at it.
Yeah, no doubt. Battle for Gilneas. Now, this is known as, again, this is being game number one, kind of a feeler map, you could say. At the same time, analysts you could point that E-Heroes especially, they're very, very confident on this map. Obviously, so Team Naz perhaps going to have to step up their game, do something tricky. Or will they go, saying that this is their map? Let's try the fight at Waterworks. Let's try the basics. See if we can get through, almost like a feeler game for them. If they don't break through, then they know going into the second map that, well, we need to change something up as far as our strategy goes.
This is truly a mutual beneficial exchange for both teams here. Looking at their roster going into it, they're bringing out the Mistweaver Monk, Holy Paladin, and it looks like the Disc Priest for E-Heroes.
Yeah, Disc Priest love it. I love that. That's what I play, baby. That's what I play. So I've always loved to see the Disc Priest. So yeah, Disc Priest on either side. I mean, they're both running the same lineups as far as healers go, it looks like. So no Resto Druids going to be brought in here in what is game number one. So
yeah, and let's walk through their lineup real quick. So for Team Naz, they're choosing to bring out the Boomkin, the Arms Warrior, Combat Rogue, Shadow Priest, Affliction Warlock, and Frost DK. Now that's a really strong kind of melt comp. You know what I mean? Like, they have the Warrior there for the executes, while on the other side, they're also choosing to bring in the Affliction Warlock along with the DK, but they're replacing it with a Frost Mage, is what E-Heroes is bringing to the table.
Yeah, Frost Mage, and I'm also noticing E-Heroes, they're running the double Rogue. Lurtex, I believe it is. Yeah, he's running this Rogue now. We mentioned he does have a Shadow Priest as well, plays it very well, a top-tier Shadow Priest. Not going to be rid of the Shadow Priest. And, again, we've been talking about how Shadow Priest really seem to be the meta as far as the range DPS goes. So we'll see if that maybe goes against them, or having the double Rogue, though, at the same time, having that ninja capability, obviously is a very powerful, effectiveness strategy as well. So here we go, baby.
And here we go. It's going to be game one, E-Heroes versus Team Naz. Let's get started in it. And, of course, Lurtex and I'm Bajanita, two people that you are going to want to watch for this game. Looks like they're heading over the Waterworks right now from the perspective of Team Naz and E-Heroes. They both want to try and contest the mid-fight from the beginning, which I think is a really smart move on both their parts.
Yeah, worth knowing. Team Naz, of course, is the Horde. We got E-Heroes as far as the Alliance is concerned, so fixing a couple of issues right here. Going in the free cam, it looks like. But yeah, they were both headed towards the Waterworks. And so it's pretty obvious that is going to be the point of contention, of course. So, right off the bat, you see Swacky in the front lines trying to cut off the supports from getting to the flag. And in the meantime, Holy Pal Sweet is actually going to be beat on for the time being. But so far, nobody dropping just yet. Pain Suppression already used, though, on the side of Team Naz. So a big cooldown right off the bat here.
Yeah, that's really great. I mean, already Team Naz is really starting to feel the pressure from this E-Heroes team, but they're really holding their own great, which I like about it. E-Heroes was so great because they were able to slow Team Naz when they took that waterside entrance. They were able to stop them on the road and really try and contest it and get them off the flag. So it's that kind of early pressure that can really mess with the mentality of the teams. Bob does go out there, and of course, it's just CC going back and forth from both these teams already.
And we have our first blood of the game right there. Nascasto goes down. Actually, could have to wait for the resurrection, of course. So far, a man advantage in favor of E-Heroes. Again, I believe both teams have one at the bases that they currently just capped. So the points are adding up. It's a very slight lead for E-Heroes. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. If this battle at Waterworks goes forever, technically advantage E-Heroes. But, obviously, they want to get that Waterworks to really secure it in a sense right here. But Odds Juice right here, once again, drop below. He's going to fall right here. Another death. And it looks like E-Heroes gaining the upper hand.
Exactly. And, that's really the importance of these rock comps, is that their damage is just so high. You really cannot contest it. As you see right now, Medding and Thermon, they're both feeling it. Team Naz lucky enough to catch a full res here, and they're going to be able to possibly get back in this mid-fight and save the flag before it's all too late. But as you can see, these rock comps, the pressure, it's just all too real.
Yeah, the spread damage is absolutely ridiculous. Again, not too sure if anyone's going for the Ninja, but another one falls parts right there. It's going to come to a point where Team Nows might want to think of actually going for Lighthouse with the next couple of resurrections here, because, yeah, they're going to be losing Waterworks. It's not capped just yet, but it's clear that E-Heroes has full control. So if you're Team Naz, don't just bang your head against the brick wall right here. Try something different. It hurts. I've tried. You do not want to do that, man. So E-Heroes right here, we'll see how they hold this at the same time, up 2-1 now. Most likely, they don't have it just yet. Oh, there we go.
There we go. So Panzer Hank, he will take Waterworks, and already this game is in favor of He Heroes, not even 2 minutes into the game. Now, we talked about a little bit about what Team Naz's next decision can really be. On this map, certain comps are going to be really good for pushing back into Waterworks and trying to secure that fight again. You know, certain times they're going to be able to wipe them the second time around, whereas because trinkets are going to be down, cooldowns are going to be off. And when they push back into Waterworks here, they may possibly have a better shot. Team Naz may choose to do that. However, if they get wiped again, they may need to change up their strategy. You never know, though. These comps can really determine the game.
Yeah, you talked about, though, that shadow cleave. You know, again, going into this, we were pretty much reiterating, why not give it a shot? Why not go head-to-head at Waterworks, see what you got? Clearly, you're outmatched when it comes to the damage. The spread damage is just too much to handle. So definitely trying something a little sneaky here. Now, obviously, that's a lot easier said than done. Waterworks, not Waterworks, but this map here, pretty notorious for knowing if one team goes up 2-1, it can be pretty difficult, especially since they're the side not necessarily with as much ninja capabilities. Again, E-Hero's the one that's running the double rogue right here. It does seem like Naz is going to once again try to go for Waterworks, not sending a full force necessarily, but they at least got somewhat of an army there. But again, Parts already having to pop that pain suppression. So one big cooldown down right off the bat. Their monk Janet. Yeah, there we go right there. Use this bubble even. He's going to be fine for the top 8. They actually got their first kill, I believe, as, well, the long-name Druid over there. He ends up going down.
Yeah, that's truly the strength of these comps. You know, certain ones coming back into the Waterworks fight for the second time, they can really turn the pressure because the cooldowns are obviously popped at this point. And Team Naz, I mean, they're reversing it on the E-Heroes, and it looks like they may have one of those comps who can just push back in and try and recontest. I really liked what Lurtex was doing there. He was slowing in Team Naz as they were coming onto the rogue, and we see Nazkoto, he's actually getting assaulted here by both Panzer Henk and Zivazava Ziga. What the hell is that name? But but as you can see here, Nazkoto, he's trying to put out some pressure and apply that to Lighthouse, while Team Naz still tries to get the Waterworks base. So
yeah,
smart, trying to hit both bases. Pretty good strat.
Exactly. Nazcosto and GSP right there. They try for the ninja attempt, as we keep talking about. You know, that's definitely what, obviously being down 1-2, that's what you really need to do. But clearly, E-Hero's ready for it. You know, that's you got to give credit to the captain right here. I believe that's Swacky actually here on the side of Legion, or on the side of E-Hero's. Wow, excuse me. Anyways, he's the one that's making these calls, making sure to send the exact numbers to certain nodes right here. Not overdoing it, not sending not enough, obviously. So they are able to hold once again. That Druid ends up falling right here, but it still looks like they are holding 2-1. Again, the Waterworks contention just not clearly nearly enough for Team Naz right here. So, you know, it almost feels like they maybe need a res right here and look for just a complete Zerg at the Lighthouse or change something out, because again, they are beating their head against a brick wall, and it seems like they're not really getting a whole lot out of it.
Exactly. Once you go down and lose that base, you only have so much limited time to try and get something back and get back in the game. I believe now with the 1,500 point down from 1,600, that is very much changed, and it's down to around 900, 1,000 at this point is the turning point. We see here in the mid fight, though, I mean, we saw a 1-for-1 there in the beginning. It was the Druid and I believe the Priest both dropped at the same time, so it was good from both the teams, going back and forth. But at the same time, these rock comps, I mean, that's just what they love to do. Focus a target, and Swacky and Tamon, the two warriors, they're just able to get those killer executes off and really secure those kills.
Yeah, we're seeing that as soon as somebody gets, you know, fairly low, it usually drop it unless a big cooldown's ready to go. We're going to see that right now here. Sirius will fall the lock on the side of Team Naz, and now it's Tamon's turn apparently. No, he's going to be fine as he's put back up. But now the healer's mana, as far as these heroes go, you know, it's still looking pretty good to say the least. Bijol right here on the Priest, he's running fairly low, but at the same time, you know, their Holy Paladin good to go, and obviously their Monk. I don't believe their Monk is here, but he's protecting a Lighthouse, I believe, but obviously he is good to go as well. Looks like there's a little bit of contention at the Lighthouse. Once again, they're trying something over there.
Let's take a look over there real quick. Yeah, let's take a look over there real quick. So, as we saw, Nazcardo, he's going to go down, and now it looks like over at Lighthouse, there's big pressure because he was trying to assault that base, I believe. As we get down here, Can't see anything too much yet, but that's all right.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. So
there's our view, but yeah.
So it looks like he actually was able to save that from Nescardo, and RBG Ida still defending Lighthouse. So good so far from him, able to defend it against
He's got
Team
the
S.
boring job, man. The boring job. No, but he's had a little bit of action here, but exactly. The life of a rogue in this case. He's the defensive rogue. But yeah, again, back to Team Nas. Just the Ninja's attempts so far have been thwarted, not working. And you see right here, obviously, trying to cut off the floaters, but not necessarily being the most effective with that right there at the same time. Again, the life pools, you just constantly, you kind of get peripheral vision on both sides. Team Nas's side, man, their life is just constantly going out. It goes back to the idea of that shadow cleave you're talking about, the rot damage all over the place, and these healers just cannot keep up with it, man. So
no, absolutely not. The rot cleave, what it's really great about doing, I mean, it's not only just great about draining the health, but it's also great about draining the mana. One of them is going to go first. Oda, Juice, you see here, Janetco, Pertz, they are the 3 healers on this team, and all 3 of them, I mean, their mana pools are just dropping very, very quickly. There's not much they can do against this rot comp.
Yeah. Do you think E-Heroes may go for the 3 cap here? Or are they just going to play it safe? Actually, we do see at Lighthouse. We're getting some good pressure, but again, not enough. Nescasto once again going down right here, trying to attempt to attack it. So E-Heroes there for the defense. But, you know, going back to the point, though, do you think E-Hero wants to go for the 3 cap or just play it safe here?
You know, they may try and do it because it can shift the paradigm of the team. When they go for that 3 cap, the mentality is just thrown off. If you're getting hit at your home base, along with that, I mean, you're taking a risk on E-Heroes because you're splitting your team up across the map, and the chances of you winning that Lighthouse fight are low, but it's going to give you enough time to stall it out. It's enough pressure to stop them and stall out the points, which is what I think they need to do right now. But at the same time, will it be worth? I don't know. It looks like they're just trying to defend Waterworks for now. They may well look to do it, but I don't think so going further.
Now let's analyze this a little bit more. Again, we keep talking about the shadow cleave, the rot damage, the AoE damage spread all over the place. Now, you mentioned that disc priest off the bat. Hey, I love it. I love seeing it. Do you think they would have been better off with the restoration druid here?
You know, honestly, that's a good possibility. They have the really meta comp right now for healing. It's Holy Paladin, Mistweaver Monk, Disc Priest. The Resto Druid, I mean, it's going to provide...
Nas, by the way. Nas, by the way. Oh, he gets sapped, though, yeah. Trying.
We'll keep an eye on Lighthouse here while we make this point, but it can definitely help them out against these rock comps because that Resto Druid, he's able to put out such aggressive team-wide healing with his, basically, AoE heals, stuff like that. So, more so than a Disc Priest, which is more so of a tank healer kind of style. You know, put the bubbles on, protect the team. But surprisingly, they're both choosing to run it, so the meta could well have shifted for this tournament. You never know. It changes week by week.
I will say Mass Dispel also can actually be pretty powerful in cases like that, too, but at the same time, you gotta wonder. But you see Imba Janita? I hate these games. Anyway, see, he's making a lot of pressure right there. They are doing their best assault yet at Lighthouse. They actually get the rogue down. But again, getting the cap, a different story. We'll see how fast it takes him to resurrect right here. Back to, Waterworks, a little bit of pressure still being applied once again, but it is still a 2-1 cap advantage in favor of E-Heroes. In fact, you look at the score, actually, they pretty much, even if they lose this right now, they pretty much have a victory. So Team Nas, they need to get both Waterworks and Lighthouse. I don't know if it's going to happen, but they're going to give it their best effort, of course, because why the hell not? But it looks like E-Heroes is possibly on their way to a 1-0 victory here.
Yeah, exactly. And as you saw here, it looks like the Druid from Team E-Heroes was trying to assault that the best that he, keep that the best that he could against that pressure from Team Nas. But I mean, obviously at this point, 1400 to 555, very difficult to come back from, probably impossible. Medang and Team Nas, I mean, at this point, they've all pretty much melted. The paradigm shift to end it on a melt like that, very tough for Team Nas, and we'll have to see if they can recover coming back from this next series.
I gotta ask, before we see the end result here, it looks like E-Heroes, they're going to be up 1-0, but who's going to be on top of the damage charts, you think?
That's a tough one. Honestly, based on their damage, I mean, E-Heroes, they were very strong healing, less damage, less game. We may see something different. I don't know. I think that we'll have to see it. Leave it up there.
I see Swacky.
See Swacky?
I'm
waiting on it right now. I haven't seen it.
Moment of truth.
Moment of truth. What will it be?
We got 10,000 gold coins on the line, right?
We do.
Maybe. No, we did.
Maybe.
I was right.
There you go. Okay.
Damn it.
So while Chris is actually on the top of the ladder with that Affliction lock, E-Heroes topping the damage meters there. Wow. What kind of pressure is that? Let's take a look at healing real quick from these teams. But the 14 million, that's insane. That's really what the Affliction lock can do for your team.
Yeah.
Bejo, I mean, E-Heroes topping the healing meters as well in every aspect. Team Naz right behind them, though. able to put 2 heals
Yeah,
up there.
but that's not surprising though at the same time, because again, they were the ones that were taking so much damage that they had to just overheal to them for the most part and constantly put up more heals. So yeah, I'm not too surprised to see the next 2 being on the side of Team Naz right there. But yeah, E-Heroes taking a man, and gotta say, pretty dominating fashion. They clearly were the better team with the fight. So we'll see how that affects things. But again, Team Naz, they're gonna have the map choice now.
Yeah, and Miko, Swacky, Waltrix, really 3-star players on E-Heroes. Very strong, able to put out so much pressure, so much damage on the Team Naz in this first start here. If you're down 1-0 in the series, you now have the next map choice. Now, Team Naz, I mean, you have a lot of options going into this. Twin Peaks, it's back on the rotation. It's no longer glitched on live, so they could very well go for that, try some really cool strats out. We've seen a lot of these teams really go for the flag-carrying maps, but honestly, I want to pass it off to our analyst desk real quick. What do you think the next map choice is going to be, and what did you guys think about that game?
Well, that game was awesome. I think there was a couple things about that game that Team Naz probably could have done slightly differently. If you look at just the overall strats from the different leaders, one thing that was really interesting is how they sat that rogue for the majority of the time. Instead of sitting that mage was then allowed to go into the team fight that was on Team E-Heroes versus Team Naz and actually control and really CC some of the healers a lot better than Team Naz was getting out. When you have that rot comp like you guys were talking about and you have more control over the enemy healers in crowd control, that rot is going to take its momentum and eventually melt the other team. They never really recovered from that momentum game. And when they did push for the ninjas on the side, they didn't lock in Team E-Heroes to that Waterworks fight. The Boomy kept getting out, that Mistweaver got out, which were great floats by them, but it's something Team Naz is going to have to do differently against other objective maps, you know, like EOTS, for example. So I think we could see an EOTS. We could also see an FC map like Warsong Gulch or Twin Peaks, maybe even a Silver Shard Mines. I know Naz might now be thinking, hey, my only way around this is just outstratting this other guy, and that might be his choice as well.
I honestly think they're going to pick Deep Wind. I think Deep Wind's a really good kind of recovery map for a team that's just gone into a team fight, realised that their team fight's not as strong as they might need it. You saw massively from the healing differences right there. E-Hero's almost nearly 2 healed that. You saw Panzer only on 6 million healing. You know, he was floating consistently to Lighthouse where they kept trying to ninja, but obviously having Image on, the Boomkin already sat there waiting for them. The ninjas weren't very successful to the very end where they chucked even more people when they tried to split it up. I think Deep Wind's a very forgiving map. I think it'll be a lot better for the kind of team Naz. I think, you know, they have the possibility of trying to ninja things, they can start running carts. We don't really have to focus too much on a team fight. They can kind of play around a different strategy and force E-Heroes to play the way they want them to play them.
Yeah, I'm actually getting word in game right now. It looks like the map may be Warsaw. I think.
Warsong.
Warsong Gulch. Yeah, okay, we do have confirmation there. We do have confirmation on that. So we'll be Warsong Gulch.
Can you hear me now?
We can.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay.
There we are, the man himself. He is back.
I'm sorry. I've been talking. It was like the little Skype thing was muted. Yeah, I was expecting Mines, honestly, because I feel like they could 4-heal. That's a good map to 4-heal. But Warsong's a good choice. It's a little bit surprising, but maybe they can win. Hopefully they can turn it around, make this a nice series.
I don't get the Warsong choice. I'm going to be frank. I mean, my analytical opinion only means so much. I understand that, but I don't get the Warsong choice because I don't think that is the best choice for clearly that Battle for Gilneas showed that when it comes to team fights, they're outmatched. So why not try the Mines? I agree with you. Why not try, honestly, Arathi Basin with the 4 healer strat. I think that could be something
4 healing. But... Honestly, I think they should have picked Twin Peaks if they wanted to go for an FC map, just because the mid, they can control the leaf. I feel like Twin Peaks is an easier map to win if you're getting spam wiped.
If
you want to play FC maps.
On that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different places you can hide.
Yeah, especially the hut there, the leaf hut, the basement. I mean, bring the flag in there sometimes when you're down. You can just turtle that in there. My God, we had a lot of interesting strat names for that, for my RBG team if you're watching. But
can you name some of them?
Right into it. What was that?
Can you name some of the strats?
Oh, what the name of the strat was?
Yeah,
it was curious. Oh God, I think it was Lindsay Lohan goes to rehab strat. We called it the rehab.
How dare you attack
oh
Lindsay
God,
Lohan.
I don't. Oh my goodness. Either way.
A Lindsay Lohan reference, man. How long has it been? Jeez.
My
You
God.
guys need to update your playbook a little bit.
Miley Cyrus. We got a match, baby. Warsong Gulch.
We do. Let's get right into it here. It is Warsong Gulch, Team Naz versus E-Heroes, second match of the series as we get in here. And it's going to be very exciting to see both these teams go at it. Breaky, I mean, you talked about how this might not be the best pick for Team Naz, but either way, they're deciding to pick it. They may have something up their sleeve for this, and they may choose to bring something really cool out. Let's take a look at
they
the comp.
better have something up their sleeve because that was dominance from E-Heroes as far as team fight goes last game. So yeah, looking at the comps right here, do you notice anything different off the bat? I'm personally nothing too much here.
Just a blood DK, really. I mean, they're choosing not to run with the Frost DK, not DK stack, which is a smart move on this for sure. But the double blood DK, very good choice in my opinion. I think that they're playing it safe like that.
Yeah. All right, so the blood DK on either side, yeah. I was kind of getting at one of the other things I was bringing up on these flag carrying maps was the idea of who's ultimately going to be your flag carrier, and it pretty much was a notorious decision that the blood DK is more than likely going to be what the teams rely on, just such as taking presence. Now, as far as initially getting the flag out, a rogue could be a possibility to get the flag initially, or Moonkin apparently.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of them. We heard rumors of the Pharaoh, but probably not. But still, I mean, Druid, same class. I mean, can carry it across the field very quickly. Very good point there. All right, let's get into it, guys. It is Game 2, E-Heroes versus Team Naz. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So, Mikos and Maydang gonna have going off to get the flag. They may well look to carry it across the field or have Nas Casto or Lurtex try and carry it for them. Get it secured.
Look at that ass, man. No, anyways, so we do see gonna possibly be meeting up here in the middle, at least looking to pick somebody off. Obviously, the Berserker Hut's off to the side on the side of the Horde, but seems like the Horde a little bit more pushed back than the Alliance currently. But yeah, they're gonna meet up in the middle right here and starting the fight. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, actually, Nas himself playing a Hunter. Apparently, Hunter's actually a little bit of a benefit on this map as well for the knockoff on the roof and whatnot. So there is a little bit of that, having that knockoff capability with, of course, the Moonkin here, definitely a pretty powerful tool to take advantage of. But Tamon here, he might get first blood, and he's dropping. No, he's gonna be fine for the time being. But again, they're the ones taking a lot more damage.
Yeah, exactly. And Mikos, he's already got the flag now. And going back to that Hunter point, it's very strong. You can get the flag, turtle it up on top of the roof, but you can bring somebody like Naz in there, the Hunter, get the explosive trap, and you can knock enemies that are coming in that flag room. You can knock them right off and probably save your team about a minute because they have to get back up, slow them, get down there. But bringing it back to the comp real quick, same healer comp from both the teams, but what's really interesting here is that they chose to bring a Destro Warlock, Walktrix. He's going to try and get those big Chaos Bolts off. I think that's surprising, and already Maydang, he's behind on that flag cap because Mikos, he was able to get that very much more quickly, almost 30 seconds advance, so they're going to have that slight advantage going in. Probably he got slowed.
And of course, yeah, the downside here of Maydang, just getting it, again, being the blood DK, very tanky, but a lot slower than something like that Rogue or the Boomkin that was brought up. So he's going to start making his way back now, but you can guarantee E-Heroes on top of that and going to be looking to cut him off as soon as possible because they definitely won that fight in the middle, and you already see them heading over. In fact, the sap comes out. I believe that's Lurtex. Yes, it is. He does have a Paladin nearby him to keep the heals up and keep freedom and whatnot for the time being, but even Mekos is coming over himself, so we're going to have a flag carry versus flag carry here, it looks like.
I love it, and that was a really great on Oda Juice to be able to peel off there and recognize that they were going to be basically converging on Maydang right from the beginning. I mean, AMS has already popped. We saw two of Team Naz's players go down earlier, and all of a sudden he's already taking big pressure. The Warrior Executes come out onto him, and along with the big bolts, Waltrix putting a kidney. They're trying to stop him best that they can.
The pole's all over the place, man. One DK pulls him back, but Paris actually brings him back with, of course, the pull himself, playing that Disc Priest. The leaves are put down. Gonna try to get that burst of speed onto him again. The mobility not necessarily the best. Gonna be Cyclones here. Again, stalling as much as possible. But as we expect, both sides, it's healers and the flag carrier on either side, keeping their FC up while pretty much all of the damage is going for that flag carrier. Obviously, peels on the healers, more of the crowd control on them, but focusing the damage on the flag carriers. It looks like right now it's pretty even neck to neck right here for the time being. We'll see if that keeps up though. But dang, he's getting closer to the base, as is Mekos, but of course that's only so important if you don't get the other team's flag back.
Yeah, exactly, and you cannot talk about this without talking about the flag stacks. Not even are these flag carriers across the field, and they're already at 3 stacks. That's 30% extra damage. No wonder that they're focusing so hard into him. As the full kidney goes out, he's going to get pain suppression already. The big damage coming in so quickly from both these teams.
He doesn't have his anti-magic shell up as well. Mekos, in the meantime, he's not taking any damage. So this is clear all the pressure coming out from E-Heroes right in here. They're the ones putting the offensive pressure out. The Paladin, I mean, he's good to go on mana. The Monk on the other end, Janet, I hate these names. The Monk, anyways, Janico. He's low on mana, as well as parts, about half mana or so. So still good for the time being. Smoke Bomb is down, though. Maydang dropping. No, he gets the Cocoon. Good to survive for now. Again, they're having to use some big cooldowns here, though. Pain suppression's down. Obviously, the Cocoon's down. Medang dropping once again. Is this going to be it? It looks like it. Yes, it is. And that's a cap for E-Heroes.
Wow, very well done. So E-Heroes, they still have the cap in the favor. Haven't done it yet, but they may have. Oh, he's going up the tunnel right now. He's got the Priest Feathers, and he's going to be able to get there very quickly. And they're going to get the first cap of the game. E-Heroes up 1-0 against Team Naz. So they have a lot of time right now, Team Naz, to recover from this, but they're starting to get wiped there. We saw that beautiful bomb that just went down, and you know, when you get the smoke bomb, execute, Chaos Bolt, and Shatter combo going on from all these players, it's just something that is unstoppable when you're going on the flag carrier. And immediately, both the Rogues choosing to pick up this flag to get it across the field, because we saw from both the teams there, the Blood DKs, they were at 3 stacks before they could even get over. The Rogues, they'll be able to get over no problem, as long as nobody is able to get on them too quickly.
Yeah, you know, it makes a little more sense here. You know, maybe for that first flag, it makes a little more sense that DK's initially going for it, because they're going to be meeting up with the other team pretty quickly anyways, whereas the Rogues, if they get it after the first cap, you know, they have the chance to be sneaky with it, maybe get it somewhere where the other team just isn't 100% prepared. So they're trying to go for that strategy, but there's the handoff. Mekos now has it on the side of E-Heroes. As far as Team Naz is concerned, Nascasto still has it, actually. And actually, did he? Okay, you know, he drops it off to Medang, so they will hand it off there. So both teams once again in the position of each flag carrier being good to go. But, you know, I'm trying to sit here and think. I would say, what can Team Naz do? But we kind of talked about that last game, and so that's why I was just shocked they chose this map, because what more can they do outside of what they're trying to do and just go for the flag carrier kill? But clearly they're being outmatched here.
You know, it really comes down to the question, offense or defense, and I think that what both these teams really like to do, they want to send off that offensive group early, and they want to try and focus the FCs. We saw in the mid-fight on the original, on the an earlier series in the Battle of the Atlantic, that basically E-Heroes was focusing on the enemy flag carrier, and the other team was focusing onto their flag carrier, both at the same time. And there was a little skirmish going on in mid. I think that's what both these teams like to do. They don't like waiting on stacks anymore, because as you can see, 2 stacks already. They're ticking in very, very quickly, coming into Warlords of Draenor.
Now, Mekos right here, he's actually taking some good pressure on his side. We do see hit the camera on Medang, though, for the time being. He also is feeling that pressure, trying to make it up that ramp very, very slowly, though. Naz doing all they can, putting down traps and whatnot, slowing down the opposition. So obviously some DPS on the defense here for Team Naz himself, in fact. Shadow Priest on their side, Atmospheres, he is dropping low. He may end up falling right here, but Medang, he's getting low once again. Paints up, it's up for the time being, but again, taking 30% more damage right now.
Exactly, and then off from Mikos comes the Vampiric Blood, along with Medang. We saw it popped a little earlier. I mean, that is one of their really big defensive cooldowns there. When you pop that, it's 15% extra health, 15% extra healing, and as you can see here, it may not be enough, though, because with that down, he's getting kidneyed, and they have a lot of pressure rolling onto him all of a sudden at 4 stacks in this game. But Mikos!
Oh, Mikos, the Greek name, he's almost dropping right there, but no, he does stay alive, and they will get the kill on Medang in the meantime. Wow, he got so low. Just not enough output, though, so clearly a good attempt right there. So that's the closest that Team Naz has been to making a play. Unfortunately, just shy, though. Obviously, we're on that, so not necessarily 100% what happened, but it happened, and we're possibly going to see 2-0 unless...
Keep in mind, they don't have this flag capped yet. GSP, though, Druid, he's following slowly behind, and they're trying to slow Mikos best they can. It looks like he's ahead right now, and he may well get it. But he's going to get paralyzed at the last second, gets the freedom, and it looks like they get the cap. So very well done. And what a great freedom that came out there from Holy Poly's WE. Really great. Really secured that cap.
Yeah, press that freedom and let him go to victory right there. So 2-0 lead now for E-Heroes. You know, you're down 2-0. So kind of like going back to Battle for Gilneas, obviously in a different sense, you're being a flag capture map. You got to go some kind of all in here. Again, I don't know what it is, but, you know, maybe just even having the healers go offensive, just trying to get the flag carrier that killed himself, and then hoping that your flag carrier stays alive with maybe one healer back, and just something else. Because, again, it just keeps going back to, it really feels like Team Naz, I don't know if they're just giving up necessarily or anything, but they're just trying to do the same thing and rinse and repeat. I know it's a lot easier said than done, trust me, but it's not working here. And right now, E-Heroes just looks like the dominant team, continue to be that way. Nascasto is going to pick up the flag once again, but blinded immediately. And he's not even going to make it out of the flag room, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. What they may choose to do here, they're either going to kill him or see him basically to death. I mean, they've got Lurtex there, but, I mean, Nascato, with the burst of speed nerf now, there goes the Chaos Bolt, so they're going to choose to kill him. They could have CC'd him and wait for the flag carrier to get back, but they're going to choose not to do that, which can work either way. But on the contrary, it looks like Medang will get it instead, and they're going to try and get this flag across the field ASAP. The best that a Blood DK can do.
You know, again, I'm not necessarily the biggest analytical guy myself. Not the most experienced, but hey, I want to see a team bust out a a quad pre-strat and just freaking do leap of faith across the map. Why not, right? Why not try something crazy? No, but obviously that's not. I understand there's probably reasons why that's not the most effective, but
only a few.
Video.
It was actually done though. It was done on a Swifty actually.
Was a Swifty? Yeah.
To do it. He broke it out on his YouTube channel. I remember the video. It was a world record that he set. I want to say it was only 20 seconds. He managed to get the flag carrier across the field by. I think he got 20 Priest grips. No, it was Priest and DKs. So he would get the death grips and the life grips. He had both teams even in on it, but. Obviously, that will never happen here.
No, probably not. Mikos, again, Paints Up is up. He's already taken 20% more damage, though, so it says making Paints Up half its effectiveness right there. Na's going to take the Cocoon, actually, so that's another big cooldown that's not going to be ready for Mikos in the time being. Or, no, they're on the opposite side, so that makes a little more sense right here. But anyways, Medang not going to take advantage of that Cocoon right here as a result. But Mikos, for the time being, look at that kite, though, man. He's somehow, some way getting away from the rogue that is on top of her, trying to get on top of him at least. Finally gets close. The smoke bomb is down, but he's going to trinket out of it, it looks like. Yeah. And once again, we'll get into position for his healers to help him up. We do see on the other side, 2 players are down.
I think it's interesting that he chose the bomb there on the Mikos. He really doesn't have a lot of his team with him, and I mean, there's not a lot of pressure that you can really set up from that. You never know, that it may have just been kind of like scare off Team Naz or something like that, but very interesting. Mikos is back in the base with the flag, 3 stacks already, 30% extra damage. And already both these teams, I mean, they're feeling the pressure as the stacks begin to climb up, already to 40% now. And Medang, he's going to get that back, and it looks like they're going to roof now. And this is really when Naz the Hunter and those explosive traps are really going to come into play.
Yeah, I mentioned that from the beginning. So this is where that advantage can definitely kick in right here. So we'll see how much of that, again, works out for them. But already the opposition is here. So look for those knockback traps. Lurtex off the bat, he actually gets stunned immediately. They just really want to keep it off of him. So, yeah, not sure where the aggression is just yet for Team Naz on Mikos on the opposition. But no doubt, Medang going to be jump first. Sap comes out and going to try to set something up. I believe they do have a smoke ready to go as well. So he needs to watch out for that. For the time being, it looks like Dance on top of him, actually. Not close enough to a death, but he is taking some good damage right here. Oh, he gets pulled back up, so that's taking advantage of the Priest right there.
That was a great life grip. Oh my gosh, we just caught the very end of that. What a great grip from that knockoff. Fantastic. Very well done there. I believe it looks like that was Parts that got that off, so well done to you, sir. But now, of course, Jelly Baba and all of the heroes, DPS, they're trying to float in right now. Lurtex with the Mage, and it looks like they may well be bringing their Warlock in very soon. They're going to try and set up what may well be the Wombo combo coming in here and try and secure this game and wrap it up with only 3 minutes to go as the kidney shot does come out.
Yeah, Trink is going to be popping him right there. So, of course, that now not going to be available. Anti-Magic Shell already used as well. There goes the barrier. In fact, I believe that is his own Disc Priest using it right there. So, just again, doing as much absorb as much as possible. 70% damage taken, though. On the side of Mikos, actually. He's actually going to feel the onslaught himself. So, honestly, with 70% damage being taken, this could go either way right here.
They're already forced to drop the battle standards. That's 10% extra health for Mikos. And as you can see, that can really pull into play. Over on Team Naz, they haven't dropped it. The bomb comes out, and he's going to drop down, and E-Heroes is going to take game number 2 on Warsong Goach against Team Naz in a 3-0 dominant style.
Yeah, smoke came out, and you just saw him drop. I mean, the smoke with the 70%, it might have even been 80% at that point. Clearly no chance. As soon as that smoke went up, he died basically a second later. So that was close for Team Naz. They actually almost got something there, but in the end, it wasn't to be. If they lose at 3-0 here, and that means they're down 2-0 now in this best of 5. One more game, that will be the series for E-Hero. So they're the ones that are feeling pretty good now, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to pass it off to the analyst. Actually, let's take a look at damage real quick before we do that. Broad the Shadow Priest topping the damage meters with over 13 million damage, along with Swacky and the Boomkin there. Wow. I mean, talk about Shadow Priest. I mean, that's what they really just do. Just in a dominant style all the way through. Going over the healing now, let's take a look at that real quick.
Yeah, that's all right on the damage. 13 million, no big deal.
Yeah, no big
14 million.
Especially for a flag carrying map, you know? I mean, that's just huge. B. Joe LOL topping the healers with the Priest. Very surprising. I mean, we didn't expect to see many Disc Priests in there, but it looks like they are resurging into the meta as we get into game number 3. And Janico, of course, Mist Weaver Monk tying it with about Panzer, actually 3 million ahead. So well done. Holy Paladins, of course, up there as well. And Parts, although we got the great grips, just simply not enough. So very well done from both these teams.
Yeah, we learned that priests are OP. That's basically what I got out of this. So
Exactly, you got it.
I think Bijal is OP, man. That guy is a beast of a healer. To surpass Monks on an FC map like that is pretty impressive. One thing I was a little bit concerned about in that map, though, from Team Naz was their positioning by Medang and where he took that flag when he actually did get a hold of it. I thought that was a little odd. And then on the other side of that coin being Team E-Heroes with their DK Mikos, aka Omiba, he was pushing super aggressive with that flag. He was even attacking the enemy flag carrier, which is something you see a lot in these top tier RBGs, and something I love seeing, because if you can add even a little bit more, to a momentum fight, it's like it makes it that much more difficult, and healers really start falling behind. And I think that's what we saw. We saw Parts fall behind compared to Bijal overall as the game went on.
Definitely. One big thing to notice, like, I'm going to fanboy Brod a lot. Me and him are really old friends. We played a lot of RBGs together. Obviously, they didn't make Lurtek switch to that Shadow Priest. They brought in their substitute. He is, an outstanding Shadow Priest to play with. He's one of the people that truly watches everything. You can see from his damage right there that, he's stopping the Warlocks, he's stopping the DKs, he's stopping the Warriors. He's, putting out this kind of spread pressure, but a lot of it is single target as well. If you look deeper into his actual damage, you'll see how much damage he actually puts on with the Rogue and the Mage when they go offensive. Another thing to really notice there was the Warlocks. You had Warlocks playing Destro, and this made a massive kind of change. This kind of shows that they're going for that pure single target to get them tanks down a lot faster, to kill these blood DKs as fast as possible. But no, it was an outstanding kind of play by Daniel on the Priest. He played really well.
Yeah, you can bring in that Destro luck too when you have those Shadow Priests doing that amount of damage. That's a good luxury, and it's a smart move from every lock to go from Affy to Destro on those FC maps like that.
Wow, so we have map picks already coming out already. We're actually going to do a quick giveaway before we get into the next game here, but it's going to be Twin Peaks is going to be the next map on the rotation. And Team Naz, they want to go for another flag carry map.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. My God, what do you guys think of that?
That's an odd choice, especially after what we just saw 3-0 in that last Warslong Gulch. Twin Peaks does offer a little bit more positional choices that a leader like Naz could take advantage of, but we didn't really see him do anything special in Warslong Gulch. He very rarely even got up to the roof with their flag there. So the map choice probably not the best, but maybe he's got something up his sleeve, like a new comp or a different strat he wants to try out.
Never know. Belly, are you there, my man?
Yeah, I'm here.
He is here. All right, Belly, what do you think about this map choice? Twin Peaks.
I think maybe they can take what they learned from the first one and try to improve on their gameplay. It's a little bit different. It's not the exact same, but still, I kind of think we're going to see more of the same from both teams. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit closer, though. Maybe Naz can pull out the win.
I was actually surprised on that first cap, too, that Naz didn't speed cap back on them. They really need to lock in those rogues, make sure, and the OC, make sure they keep them in. And they could have gotten a speed cap on the second one. I don't know why they didn't go for that. But
well, rogues, of course, very difficult. I mean, I think they want to get it passed off to their blood DK ASAP. But guys, we're actually going to do a quick giveaway here in stream. So if you guys are not following it, make sure that you are following, because you got to be followed to get this giveaway. Tonight, we're going to be giving away a US Heroes of the Storm beta key. Very upcoming game now from Blizzard. Pretty cool. I've played through it a few times. Really nice so far. So if you guys want to win this beta key, type Heroes in the chat right now, and you guys can have a chance to win a Heroes of the Storm beta key for US servers. All right, so going into the next game here, Twin Peaks. We talked a little bit about that hut there, and I called it the Lindsay Lohan strat because, that's a rehab hut. Maybe help your team out, get them back in the game. The thing about that, that is the hut, and do you think that's really going to come into play, or do you think that they're going to play it very much in the same style that they played this Twin Peaks?
No way. They're not going to go to the hut. They're going to kite up to balcony and drop down.
Why are you so sure about that, Giga? Just curious.
Well, because they already lose the sustained game versus E-Heroes. For them to want to turtle, maybe if they get like one cap up advantage, or if they get the second cap that's going to give them the win, possibly we could see it come out. But I don't think that's going to be a smart move if they decide to do it, because they're going to wipe in the team fight eventually. So doing that just means they're going to lose the game and eventually lose the flag.
I don't know about that. I think we could still maybe try it.
All right. We'll see. We'll find out right here.
We will find out as we get into game number 3. E-Heroes needs one win to stay in the series. Team Naz needs one win to stay in it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm having camera issues, by the way.
Okay, that's all good then. We'll work it out. All right, Breaky. So let's get right into this. Choosing to bring out the double disc again. Double flag carry, still the same. both the Blood DKs, no replacements really so far. And going down the roster, it looks like both teams choose to play it safe. Combat Rogue from Team Naz, Sub-Luti Rogue from E-Heroes.
All right, so yeah, a little bit of difference there, but I mean, again, overall though, it really just goes back to Team Naz right here. They chose this map, and clearly they better have something pretty big up their sleeve, because obviously we saw both those first two games. When it comes to meeting head to head, when it comes to the fights, they are just being outmatched here. So as far as E-Heroes is concerned, yeah, why change anything? So that's maybe where I'm a little bit more surprised as to why perhaps Team Naz didn't not only choosing a similar map in the flag carrying map, but not necessarily really changing anything as far as their lineup goes. But you see the same lineup, just saying, you know what, last game didn't work, let's just try it again, and we're confident that it can. Well, we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Here we go, we're kicking it off.
Amen, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go for game number 3. It's going to be E-Heroes versus Team Naz. Going into the mid-fight here, I see that they're bringing back that Destro Warlock on Team E-Heroes, which I think is a very smart pick from them. I mean, he did so much damage last game, and they have Broad back as well, the Shadow Priest, which, I mean, he just topped the meters like nothing else.
Yeah, so I would not be surprised to see him on top once again. Again, this being a flag carrier map, obviously a little bit different layout and everything, but the similar idea, of course, is safe to say. So you see Mekos right here going to be going the waterway into the opposition space, whereas Madang, he's just going to be going up the ramp, and both of the flag carriers should get the flag within the same time as one another here.
Yeah, exactly. Lurtex and Jelubaba floating nearby, as it looks like Clarity Exo tried to get the Nova and tried to slow him best they can. That can tend to be a popular strat, peeling the mage back and trying to slow him and stop their flag carrier. And it looks like we have a leave here from Team Naz.
Well, GSP was in the base basically while the flag was being picked up, so something tells me he may have had an issue himself and lagged out there, just problems connecting something, but clearly they're gonna go for a remake here. We'll obviously get the decision what the deal is there.
Yeah, exactly. We'll find out from our fantastic refs here as to what is going on. I believe that we have a call. We should be getting the word in just a moment here from a moment. Have to see what happens. We're just waiting on the call right now, and we will see what happens. It may be a replay, maybe a win. You never know.
Well, it looks like the refs are saying something about the DC, and I guess it was on GSB, and apparently it was within the timer, so I think it's just going to be a reset. That's what I'm hearing out of our referees.
Yeah, that's what it looks like right now.
Let them confer.
Yeah, we'll wait for their final call on that as they get into it. But I want to bring it back to that game at the beginning there. We saw the comp out from E-Heroes, which was the Destro Warlock in the beginning, and that Sub-Rogue. Now, you guys, the analyst desk, you guys don't really get too much of a chance to talk about this in game, but break that down for me. The Sub-Rogue, that's really new in the meta, kind of, for going into this shift from combat.
It's a stronger way to kill blood DKs. Combat's obviously got the kind of red spree burst that it can offer, but sub's got kind of shorter cooldowns that do more damage. You know, they've got more control over the kind of how they want to play, compared to combat, where it's, you know, build up until you've got your red buff, you're ready to do damage, and then be able to perform that kind of burst. Where combat, sub is a lot kind of shorter downtime and can do burst more often, shall we say. But another thing to notice from that from Twin Peaks right now is Naz is sitting out, the Shadow Priest is in.
Yeah, and what it looks like, I just got word from the rest. They have their final call here, and the verdict is that the map will be rematched. There was a disconnection issue, and it will be played again on Twin Peaks. So, fair call. I think that's right. I mean, they weren't even a few minutes into the game, so.
Part of me was kind of hoping that they'd be like, we actually want a different map here.
Yeah, I don't believe that they're actually allowed to do that. I think it's the same map.
That makes sense.
According to the rules there. And of course, the rulebook is public for this tournament, so if you guys want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. But we are just waiting to get back into the game here. E-Heroes versus Naz. Now, they do have sort of an advantage because, not necessarily too much of an advantage, but they were able to kind of see the comp going into this, and they can kind of see what's going on back and forth as they get into the next game here. Basically, it's the same comp from both teams. No crazy picks, nothing too out of the ordinary. So, yeah.
I think where you're really seeing E-Heroes take advantage, though, is on that Destruction Warlock over Affliction. The sub and combat rogue argument, yeah, you could go either way with it, you know, which is better. Personally, I'm a big fan of the sub rogues. You just have to have that really high skilled sub rogue. In this case, of course, two of the best teams in the world, you're going to have that high skill cap. I think the Destro lock is what's making the difference, and how they're coming down, how the AFCs are dying faster, or the FCs dying faster for Team Naz. not so much because of the bolts and the shadow burns into the FC, which of course are helping, but more so because they're getting through the healers' defensive cooldowns faster than Team Naz is getting through Team E heroes. They're never really overwhelming Team E heroes healers, and they need to start doing that, get through those defensives, and then either kill a healer or kill the FC as soon as possible.
Absolutely. And, think about it. We saw from both the teams there, I believe it was E heroes that was able to just really get those caps very quickly and really just reestablish pressure going back. And they were actually able to, it looks like they're just slightly quicker by like a matter of maybe 15 seconds to put out the pressure on the other FC before Team Naz can. And really, a matter of seconds can truly determine a game.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still stuck up on, again, Team Naz right here, and choosing the flag carry map. Obviously, what's done is done. It's definitely excited to see what they have up their sleeve here for this third and what could be the final game again. To reiterate that, if they're not careful, this is a best out of 5. The next series will be a best out of 7, of course, that being our title fight. But this one being the prelims here, best out of 5. And right now, E Hero is showing that they not only want to win this series, but perhaps contend for the title next event, if that's how things work out.
Yeah.
Possibly. So.
What we forgot to mention is that we have another fight night coming up. We're not done, ladies and gentlemen, on the 20th, which is really exciting. And it's going to be the winner of this matchup here versus the winner of the main event coming up right after this, which is going to be ABN versus Datacus, which is so cool. And guys, for the downtime, actually, we're going to do a quick giveaway again for another Heroes of the Storm beta key. Apologize for that, and we should be getting into a game in just a moment. I believe a player is having a quick issue, so they do want to get that worked out. So guys, if you want a Heroes of the Storm beta key for US servers, please type in chat now, Heroes. There you go. So, getting into the next game here, Twin Peaks once again. Same people, same strats. Do you think they can pull it off?
We're all about keeping hype. We're all about making sure that that the people are interested to watch the cast, if anything. So I'm going to say yes. No, but on a realistic again, we saw signs of life there at the end from Team Naz of the Warsaw Gulch match. I mean, we saw them getting very close to actually getting back to 1-2 in that game and possibly even making some sort of a comeback. So there is life in them, but it's safe to say that, again, E-Heroes is the stronger team as they've shown so far. But how do you guys feel, though?
I think Team Naz can do it. I'd really like to see them pull something off here. They're bringing in that Shadow Priest for the extra damage. I think really what they need is the control and get through those healers' cooldowns, like I was saying. Can they do it? Yes, absolutely. Is there morale in the place to do it right now is really the question. With the DC and your leader not even being in the group, that could be an issue. But we saw, during the Battle of the Atlantic, players step out for the better of the group, and they won the game sometimes. So we'll see if they can pull it off.
Especially on the ABN and by Lamos, both of them chose to step out as the team leaders multiple games and basically tell their team what to do from the Skype. And I think that was really smart because, you have less focused on, you can really just focus on the game, lead your team from Skype, not necessarily have to focus on too many other issues going into it, which I think is pretty cool. Quick update for
I got beat us.
Oh my gosh, that's unfortunate. Quick update from in-game here. We're just waiting to get into the next one. And it looks like they're just working out a quick team issue. We should hopefully be in there. But for the time being, we're going to go to a quick break. And when we get back, we should have this game ready for you guys. We'll be right back. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again. The queue has been resolved, and we are about to get into game number 3. It's going to be E-Heroes versus Team Naz. Looks like they're queuing right now, and we're just waiting for us to get right into that game. So very exciting so far. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. We really do appreciate it as we work out these queuing issues, technical difficulties, and we're back.
Well, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. I wanted to say that obviously when it comes to the World of Warcraft RBG especially, a lot of this is still new. It's still fresh. And you made the point earlier, like when it comes to the spectator interface, I mean, it's not even Blizzard. We got a guy that, what does his name, by the way?
Vadrak, what a legend.
What an awesome person.
It's a great add-on, too.
Giving us the opportunity to allow us to even do this in the first place as far as the spectator interface and looking nice. So big shout out to him. But yeah, bear with us, guys. Obviously, technical difficulties are a thing when things are getting started, and will be throughout. It's just a part of this nature of the streaming world. So, but with that said, we're here. We obviously got a couple matches down and excited to get into that third and what could possibly be the final game. In fact, here we go. We are in it.
Here we go indeed. Team Naz bringing on the Hunter once again, along with the Destro Warlock this time around. That's a big change right there.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I kind of wonder, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and, I'm not the one that makes the rules, but hey, they changed it from the game that was now replayed. So I wonder if E-Heroes, will pick up on that and, notice that right away or not. I'm not saying that anything should come of it, but the point being just realizing it if you're E-Heroes. Because, again, just the game before, even though it was remade, he was the other spec here. So
yeah, absolutely. Completely allowed to do that in-game.
Okay. So
yeah, definitely. So very smart. And I think this is really interesting because now all of a sudden Team Naz's shifts. They're going onto a more bursty comp, get them down. They have the mage, they have the warrior, they have the Destro Warlock and the rogue. They can line up what E-Heroes wants to line up on this match, what they did line up last game. They have that potential now that they've swapped over to that Destro Warlock. The Affliction Warlock, I think it was a little, almost kind of out of place with the comp, but now that they have, it can work, but going up against this comp, it can kind of get countered sometimes. So either way, as we get into game number 3, E-Heroes needs 1 to take the series. Team Naz needs 1 to stay in it. Let's get right into it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Yeah, that's it. So that's that one change up that I was kind of hoping for. So at least it's something here from Team Naz. And going to give it a go with Sirius again, playing that Destro lock. So, we saw last time, I assume it's going to be a similar situation, eventually meeting up in the middle right here. Both the flag carriers, both the Blood DKs, of course. They go for the flag and, picked up around the same time. So not expecting a whole lot different here. But off the bat, it looks like actually E-Heroes going to be the ones that are initiated on initially. But now the fight breaks out on the side of Alliance here, but some good damage on both sides. No big cooldowns used just yet, it looks like. Obviously, again, the flag here is going for that flag, although the Warlock, the Destruction Lock, he goes down here, and the first blood is favor Team Naz.
That is huge. So now all of a sudden, Team Naz, with that Destro Warlock and that change of comp, they're already starting to put pressure on the E-Heroes. But I mean, look at them just reverse it immediately. Sirius and Naz both drop quickly, but Wildcrix gets first blooded not even a minute into the game. Very cool comp. And Janico, he's going to get beamed. He may well go down. But both Blood DKs in possession of the flag as they begin to move across the field.
Yeah, you do see the pressure, though, coming back from E-Heroes. That pressure that we've come to expect now through the first 2 games, and definitely spreading some good damage. Not getting any kills, though, just yet. So far, does remain the first blood in favor of Team Naz, and that is the only kill, I believe, that has happened so far. So both flag carriers, though, they're making their way out, getting to the river right here. It looks like Medang actually slightly ahead, but he does have a rogue on him as Garrow comes out right there. Again, trying to get that dot damage up and silence and whatnot. So applying the pressure and keeping on top of him. So well played here by Lurtex, actually. Lurtex taking some good damage himself. But once again, we do see the first kill, and Nascosta goes down on the side of Team Naz, but Walrix is taking some good damage himself. This time, though, Cocoon comes out, and he's going to be fine for the time being. But both flag carriers, they are getting them back to base, it looks like, and just about making. They're not taking advantage of those huts, though.
Yeah, no, very smart. I think that's good for now. You really don't want to turtle at this point. I mean, first cap in the game, there's no real point in it so far. Get the flag across the field, play it safe, worry about the hut later. So Medang, I mean, he's trying to get across the field. Both him and Mikos are both pretty much there at this point. But at the same time, Medang's team, they're really starting to wipe. Naz, Clarity, Sirius, I mean, they're all down right now. Clarity picked back up at the last moment from a fantastic ice block that went out. But both these teams at this point, more specifically Team Naz, is really starting to feel the pressure, and Team Naz in particular is really melting. So Mikos and Medang, they're both across the field. They're both to their respective bases, but as Team Naz, you're pretty well split at this point, and you got to try and find a way to recover.
Yeah, for lack of a better term, it's pretty clear that Team Naz blew their load there at the beginning. They wanted that kill, and they got the kill, but, I'm sure they used a lot of offensive cooldowns to do so. Now, getting that kill, sure, it puts you up ahead initially, but you don't have those bigger cooldowns, though. And of course, E-Heroes, they might have saved on a couple of theirs. They responded, and again, now we're seeing the destruction in favor of E-Heroes, at least when it comes to the team fight. So we are at that 40% damage amp now, but dang, he's the one taking the pressure for the time being. Meko's currently not feeling any pressure just yet. Anti-Magic Shell is up for Medang, but he clearly is trying to do the kite thing now, as he's going to run to the mage, though, right here. And that's going to possibly change some things. Double mage coming in, obviously, to fight the other one from either side. But again, the players continue to drop on the side of Team Nas is what I'm noticing here.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they blew their load because they want to go for a 3-cap climax. You never know. But of course, Medang, he's getting the kidney shot there, and I mean, they're trying to put out what pressure that they can. He may have Death Pack, may be able to pick himself up here, but the Life Cocoon does go out. I mean, both these teams feeling a lot of pressure, and it looks like Team Nas may have a DC. We'll have to see either that or a frame issue, but they're playing through it nonetheless. So, both teams feeling the pressure onto their flag carriers immediately as we're 11 minutes into this game, already 60% extra damage.
Yeah, being down 1 to player clearly going to hurt the overall circumstances as well. Not exactly which player was DC'd right there, but being down 9 versus 10, that's safe to say, just on paper and not necessarily what you're looking for. Now, Brodex goes down the Shadow Priest on the side of E-Hero, so that's another kill at least happening for Team Naz. But you do see him, dang, he's the one taking all the damage right here, the pressure. Mekos, on the other hand, he's not feeling a thing. He's just kind of twiddling his thumbs, waiting for action to happen. So Medang up to 60% damage increase right here. If this keeps up, it's very likely going to be a cap for E-Heroes. Although now here comes a little bit of pressure as, well, no, that's Nascosto. He's on his side. So, again,
yeah,
Mekos is not feeling anything here.
I like how they managed to get down Brodex. I mean, there's a big bomb there on the Medang. Facing big pressure in his own base, that's 80% extra damage. He's going to go down, and all of a sudden, E-Heroes, they're going to take the first cap in this game against Team Naz.
Yeah.
Already getting wiped, already this big cooldowns pop for both these teams. I mean, what can you really do at this point?
Yeah. Well, it goes back to before, what we talked about. It just seems like Team Naz, they're trying to just go for the very similar strat of, trying to fight these guys, trying to fight E-Heroes head on. But, I mean, that goes back to the idea of a flag capture map. I mean, there's not a whole lot of strategy involved compared to, say, the Mines map or, frankly, any other map as far as the capture points, as far as the mines, as far as whatever else. I mean, arguably the only map they probably wouldn't have wanted.
Are they going for a quick cap?
A temple right here, but what's up?
Are they going for a quick cap here?
Maybe. Drops it off.
They passed off the Medang. I mean, nobody has touched E-Hero's flag yet. And, I mean, they're already, Team Naz's flag. And Medang is already three-quarters of the way across the field. Migos picks it up. But that's such a massive advantage because Nascoto was able to escort that across the field very quickly into the hands of Medang before they could even pick that up. So very well played, but will it be enough with the kidney already out? And they're already feeling the pressure.
Yeah, no, obviously a great idea by Team Naz and definitely something that they need to try to get into this game right here, being down 1-0 as the Cocoon comes out, but you see Medang, he's being tossed around left and right, is going to try to put some pressure on himself as well. He really has no other choice. Mekos, in the meantime, he's forced to pop the AMS right here as he was feeling pressure, I believe, from Sirius, that destruction lock. Again, can't put out a lot of damage, but Pain's up now on a Medang right here. That, of course, is going to be wearing off shortly, and that will be on cooldown now. 4 parts, the Disc Priest on the side of Team Naz. And now Medang starting to feel it once again. No smoke bomb out, though, so he's going to be fine. Still hopping around. So, yeah, they got it back quickly, but they eventually run into the team right here. So you got to wonder, is Mekos, he's in a smoke bomb, actually. No, it looks like he is going to be able to get out of it.
Yeah, really just in time. I mean, Team Naz, they have a very situational advantage here. They're able to bring the entire fight over to their side of the map where they have the graveyards, where they have the basically overall advantage. Medang, I mean, he's dropping very low, but slowly but surely, as Migos goes farther and farther across that field, they slowly lose their grip on that positional advantage that they have early in the game. Medang, he's facing a Life Cocoon right now. He's going to get that, but Migos, of course, he's going to get kidneyed. Both these teams have their offensive groups peeled out, and they're trying to focus on the enemy flag carrier in the mid-fight, but it's not enough because it looks like Medang's going to go down, and all of a sudden, E-Heroes has the flag uncontested right now across midfield with the freedom.
Yeah, Nas is the one that got DC'd, by the way, the Hunter, of course, and, well, the team captain. His team's named after him, after all, so that no doubt has to be hurting. So, again, a great attempt by them, especially being a man down to try to make something happen with the quick cap right there, but unfortunately, it is going to fall just short once again, and Mekos going in right here. Well, no, okay. He's just, I don't know if they're toying with him or what. Okay, no, he picks it back up and eventually going to go back into cap it right here. Yeah, Mekos just having some fun with it, even doing the moonwalk.
Drop it
into the flat cap. A little bit of BM right there, but hey, when you're up 2-0 on the verge of being a 3-0, I guess you can have a little bit of fun with it, right?
Yeah, I suppose so. Why not? Don't want to throw that lead, though. But I don't think they're in danger of doing that anytime soon. So as we get right here, game 3, I mean, they're trying to go for the 3rd cap right now. Wrap this game up very quickly before Naz can even have a chance to respond. They're 2 caps up at this point. 7 minutes in, you know, they're trying to do what they can.
Yeah. They are, and again, you see Madang having it right here. But this is the thing now. Obviously, they need to get 2 caps within 6.5 minutes, basically. Now, they already have picked up one of their first 2. It's possible, obviously, yes. If no one was on the map, and yeah, you could do it pretty fast, but obviously there are people on the map, and they're going to defend and everything, so it makes it a little bit tougher to do so. But yeah, it is still possible, and the likelihood, though, is definitely, unfortunately, not in the highest percentages. But hey, give it a shot. That's what they're doing right here, again, especially being the man down. Nice pull right there from Atmospheres, actually. Gets us a good distance, but
wow,
he's still not able to get away.
Very good pull by Atmosphere, and we saw that from Parts earlier. I mean, both these players and the Priest, they're really using that life grip to their maximum advantage. And as you saw, the pain suppression does go out on the Madang. I mean, both these players, they're really, truly able to get those clutch grips that can just save lives. We saw on the fly carrier when he got knocked off by Naz in the beginning, and now we saw that when he got caught in such a bad position, he was able to get life gripped back as well. I mean, at this point, if you're Team Naz, what do you really do? Do you go offense or defense? Do you turtle, or do you choose to go and try and get that fly carry down ASAP? It's all about the stacks, and they've got one right now, and it looks like that may well be enough.
Yeah, he's getting low right here. He's going to survive in the end. Cyclone onto him, though, to prevent the heals. Throw the healers off guard. Get some crowd control out. Master Spell's going to be used, though, and he will come out of it. And back to full life is Madang, so he's going to be fine. But, hell, to answer your question, though, why not? Just go all out, go all aggression, you know. Obviously, they can't do that just yet because Madang's taking a lot of pressure himself. But honestly, they have to, I think. Their DPS should all be on Mekos right now, which it looks like could be a possibility. Smoke bomb on him. Madang, though, he's getting low. This could be it. As far as losing, it will be. He goes down. He does fall, and now not a cap just yet. But it's all on E-Heroes to finish off this game right here. Mekos going in. Can Escato perhaps get in there and get it first? I don't know. He's getting pulled away, though, and peeled.
And there you go. I mean, that was the Mistweaver right there. He was able to get the speed buff in just enough time. But Janico, or Niscato, excuse me, he's running into the base, and it looks like he may well be able to get the flag right here. He does. So now they have a rogue, and they're able to get him across the field very quickly. Still at 3 stacks. He can still kite this for the time being.
Well, keeping them in the game, if anything. Yeah, exactly. Keeping them in the game, that's what matters right here. But, here he's going to be found by Lurtex as there goes the sap. Madang is right here, though. Going to drop off. Needs to be careful, though, because Lurtex, he's spamming that click guaranteed. And obviously, Niscato very aware, but he needs to get rid of it right here sooner, most likely. No, Cocoon comes out as Jenico is there to save the day. Madang, he will pick it up. Nice stun onto Lurtex right there to do that handoff. So, but again, you can tell the execution that Nas has some bits and pieces of it. There's a reason why they're here in the first place, but unfortunately, just all hasn't come together just yet for them. And Madang already taking some good damage.
Yeah, I mean, that handoff was really great, but I don't know if it was worth it or not, because as you can see here, Madang, he's already taken so much pressure. Down to 86k. I mean, E-Heroes, they feel like they've been robbed of their flag, and they want to get it back immediately. So they've got their full team here, and they're focusing all that they can on the Madang.
Yeah, doing what they can, of course. There's another pull once again, though. I believe that one was on the side of Parts right there. We've seen it once and once again coming out from them. So again, taking advantage of having the double priest here in that sense, at least. But look at that range damage, man. About 60% damage amp. I guess that helps with it. I'm sure some big numbers coming out right there. He will get healed back up to full, though. Saving Grace perhaps being spammed right there on the side of Parts. And that's something you got to keep in mind. Obviously, spamming that Saving Grace to keep him up, but at the same time, that means his other heals for the next 7-8 seconds, I believe it is, will be on a reduction as far as the power of them. So Madang is feeling it.
There you go.
Comes out, though. He's going to be fine for now, but will he last longer?
Yeah, he has the life cocoon on him. I mean, they're down to pain suppression at this point, and they're going to do what they can. Speaking of pain suppression, I mean, Armo Spears is down. Not that he give it anyway. Shadow Priest. But still, he has the cocoon on him. He's taking 70% extra damage. You can't kite at this point. That's out of the picture. Now, right now, you got to get that flag back to the base, and you have to get it secured and do what you can. But I mean, at this point, you know, E-Heroes, they've got this game really locked up in their favor. The pressure is out. They don't really have time to respond. They got to get put on defense before they can even focus on offense. And as you can see, he's going to drop down. And it looks like Mikos is going to take this series for E-Heroes as they possibly cap the flag. Just him and Pazarek. He's standing by it, and he's waiting.
The ultimate BM to finish it off right there.
You go.
But E-Heroes will take the game 3-0, and they will take the series 3-0. So congratulations to E-Heroes. Got to be feeling pretty good. Team Naz, on the other hand, again, they just came up short. Clearly this third game, too. Naz, their captain, getting to see whatever the issue was there. It happened, and unfortunately, they were playing a man down. Hell, I gotta say, I was pretty impressed. We gotta keep in mind that they were playing that 9v10 for a lot of it.
Yeah, exactly.
They actually did pretty well.
They still showed up with that 9v10, I'll tell you. It was very good from both teams. Now looking at the damage meters here, I mean, Broad and Swacky, the damage dealer champions, 12 million from each of them. Healing done as well. Take a look at that. I mean, we see Janico very high up on the meters there with 13 million, along with Oda Juice. I mean, Team Naz, they were very well up there on the healing, but as far as it goes, I mean, just not able to top the game off. So, very good first blood from them. And E-Heroes, they're moving on to next week. And they're moving on to the Fight Night finale.
You know, something else I'm noticing there from the scoreboard, too. You look at the killing blows. Only 2 killing blows in total from Team Naz. So only 2 deaths on the side of E-Heroes. And honestly, I don't know if we really pointed out, but I think last game there was 0 deaths, actually. So just not able to get the kills on the E-Heroes. And, well, you're not going to win games. I think it's simple math right there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think E-Heroes was expecting the Duster Lock. They weren't expecting that kind of massive burst from the beginning. But once they saw it, they really adapted very quickly. And I thought that was really great on their part. So I want to pass it over, Analyst Desk here. Guys, break down the series for me, E-Heroes versus Team Naz, before we get into our next series of events, which is the main event of the evening, Team Datacus versus Team ABN. Break down that game for me, guys. What did you think?
Well, 28 killing blows by E-Heroes was the final number.
Oh.
I think that's one way to kind of assert domination. Or is it more?
It was up there.
Pretty sure, I think I counted 28. No, Destro Lock on 9, Warrior on 9, you know, your 2 massive execute classes, like, they're really doing their job right there. You saw from the damage that Swacky produced with Broad also up there, with the Shadow Priest damage, that, you know, they're really kind of pushing them kills, but having Warwicks be able to snipe kills as well. Like, at the end of the day, this whole map is based on how offensive your team goes. If you just sit on a tank and train it the whole day, that you're going to win that map. That's how you win the map. You know, if they had people split off straight away, you had Lurtex like going straight for the tank, and they did it really well.
Yep. Quick camera issues there, guys, but we'll get it resolved.
Yeah, I'm floating around somewhere in there. Overall, though, I think Team Naz really they had kind of reverse weakness comparing this Twin Peaks to the Warsong Gulch they played. Medang actually fixed his positioning a little bit better, and so that was good. But then the overall team fight kept getting spread out, and they were putting their healers rather thin. It was a great kill on Walrix early by Sirius, the Destruction Warlock, but then to have the game go on longer and then the team spread out and eventually you start getting kills, that allows for the offensive push from Team E-Heroes onto Medang, the Naz FC, to be really strong. And that's what you saw up on that balcony. They never actually wiped that offensive push from E-Heroes, and it was consolidated more. I think that eventually, you know, cost them a cap after a cap and eventually the game. So I think Naz should have probably chose a different map if he wanted to really, you know, shake up E-Heroes and get that win and get the momentum back going for the series. But E-Heroes took it and they played it well. 3 straight games. Awesome.
Very well done. So they will be facing off against the winner of the next match, the main event of the evening, Team ABN versus Team Datacus, otherwise known, if you want to get the phone names, it's USA Proxy, PKB, SX6, ABN versus Team Trendsetters. So the winner of that next match will move on to face E-Heroes next week, 2 weeks from now, on March 20th. So very
you got
exciting.
Some flashcards for that, AJ? Like, how did you memorize all that?
Oh my god!
You said that really fast, man.
Oh god, dude, don't even ask.
A lot of time and effort,
but you get used to it once you say it so much.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a rhythm, you know. USA Proxy, PK, you know.
Right,
okay.
right, yeah.
Either way, guys, we are gonna go to a quick commercial break here, but when we get back, it's gonna be USA Proxy, PKB, SX6, ABN versus the one, the only Team Trendsetters. Guys, we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are back once again, and now we're going to be getting into the main event of the evening. It's going to be Team ABN versus Team Datacus. Now, very strong matchups from both these teams, and we want to take a moment to actually go over them and discuss them as the two teams get ready to go into the main event. So let's run through their roster real quick, guys, and let's talk about that. So for their roster, it looks like they're going to have, and some quick cam issues there, guys. We should have them resolved in just a moment. But for their roster, we have USA Proxy, PKB, SXX, ABN versus Team Trendsetters. And for ABN, he's got ABN, Unseen, Slip, Asper, Smexon, Phil, Vo, Adam, Rukri, Blake, Oz, Exaru, Sandstrong, Peekaboo, and Elite. Now keep in mind that these guys have not played together since the Battle of the Atlantic. Now, going back over to Team Trendsetters is going to be Datacus, BCBY, Tyler, Derivative, Vigorous, Vamps, iMongo, Pharaoh, Moonfall, Articuno, Snuggle Bunny, Luke, Jordan, and of course, Merkamids and Godfather. These guys right here, you know, very strong lineup. And what's really cool about Team Trendsetters, as we discussed earlier, they are setting the trend and the meta in a very colorful comp. They're taking one of each class. Interesting.
Yeah, they're really committing to that rainbow comp. I mean, we've seen it before in past seasons, and it looks like it's back with the recent buff to Shadow Priest. Is it going to be enough to take on Team ABN? I think because it's Datacus and he's actually played against ABN a lot, he's played with ABN a lot, you're not going to see a bunch of the stuff that fooled E-Heroes, for example, like that Gilneas Ghost Ninja out of ABN. Datacus isn't going to fall for those kind of tricks against ABN, so maybe this comp will be enough to overtake ABN.
I think one thing that we're going to have to really look for is obviously ABN's kind of sticking with the same healing composition, he's sticking with the same people, he's sticking with that kind of same one from the tournament. Obviously, Datacus has been able to bring in a few players from obviously Bale's team from the previous tournament. Like they've combined a group together almost. This kind of rainbow comp kind of thing that we're looking at, we're going to see how much damage they can really push out. Maybe ABN's healers are not going to keep up with it if they don't bring in, for example, because they don't have a Disc Priest. We've just seen from the previous games how strong Disc Priests are. I think they might even struggle quite hard with this.
Yeah, not having that life gear, not having the absorbs, not having you know, the pains up, of course, you know, that definitely could cause issues. But it's safe to say, you know, clearly I would think they're going to be confident in a sense they're the returning champions. I know this is a different event, but the last biggest event, as you mentioned, the Battle for the Atlantic, they took that in, you know, fairly decisive fashion as well, from my understanding. So I want to point out, this kind of being from a perspective of looking on from the outside of, you know, again, I'm not necessarily a top tier player myself, but you guys were linking this WoW progress chart. ABN is ridiculous as far as the amount of rated Battleground games he's played. According to WoW Progress, he's played 8,800 official RBG games. Whoa. The next closest is Belly Costco at 5,600. So that second place is 3,200 behind the first place player as far as the amount of games played. So it's safe to say ABN himself has a lot of experience, and this guy's going to be by far the most experienced player in the RBG scene right now. And you got to think that means something. So,
yeah, I mean, ABN definitely queues a lot, and he does usually have some of the most games played in the season. There are a couple of people pushing on his heels a little bit, but you got to remember a lot of those games, not necessarily on main. A lot of them are played on alt. He is bringing his alt to the group though, so he could do something on Rogue as well. And last time we saw him do something amazing on Rogue as well. So I hope we get to see that again today. Don't know if maybe 8,000 games is going to be worth it, but we'll see if it's going to help him or not.
It looks like Belly has fixed a few issues on his end, and we're getting him in the call right now, so you will see a few frame issues, guys. But Belly, welcome back, my man.
Hey guys, I was having some connection issues, but I think they're resolved thanks to proxy.net. Very reliable service. It was turned off, but now I think I should be safe.
Well, there you go.
You're messing up our graphics, asshole.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh my goodness. No, we'll fix that in just a moment here. We're just waiting to get into the AB and Datacus series here. Both these teams trying to get them ready, and we'll do the roll coin toss to see who is actually going to be taking that live. So very interesting for the map choices here. Now we saw ABN and Datacus in their first series. Or excuse me, they have not faced each other before, ABN and Datacus. But ABN, he tends to like to go for the Battle for Gilneas map. All the teams really do. Do you think that's probably going to be the map choice coming out?
I think ABN will definitely choose Gilneas. I don't know if Datacus would necessarily choose it if that's his choice. I think Datacus might go for something like Silver Shard Mines or Deep Wind Gorge, something where there's moving objectives that he can take advantage of with this composition. I don't know. What about you, Smitey? What map you think he's gonna get, man?
ABN's point of view, I'd like to see Ivor Storm. I think this is the kind of map that he likes to shine on. Yeah, I think this is the kind of map that could fuck with Datacus a little bit. Obviously, being able to pressure them on, you can go for bases, you can go for all these kind of ninja caps. Yeah. You can go for that team fight. I think, obviously.
Also, the Hunter. Team ABN does not have a Hunter currently on their roster. I feel like a Hunter is very useful for EOTS, for the knocks, the traps, and combining with the Rogue with the trap zaps and to get bases. A trap zap cap is a very, very dangerous ability on EOTS. Like, I think we should watch out for that.
What we talked about earlier was when me and Breaky were casting an EOTS game, what we noticed is that it not only came down to knockoffs, but nobody has really talked about the mind controls and how important they've been in getting a lot of these players off the middle. You guys think that's going to happen? We're going to see a lot of the series?
Mind control is a little tricky. You might see Jordan do it.
We saw it multiple times in the games, and it did work. It just wasn't picked up on
right. It's risky though, and I don't think the healers on Team ABN are going to fall for it if they do try to do it. A mind control is easily dispellable, and it puts your cooldown, up. So I don't think you're going to see him do it. If anyone is going to do it though, it could be Jordan's. Yeah.
One of the issues of mind control is it's the DR of it. Obviously, you're putting DR for other CC out for the healers. And just generally for teams, it can be quite frustrating because obviously if you make a healer mind control another healer, you're taking out a healer from your side and a healer from their side, and it kind of weakens your team almost. It's not necessarily worth it, even especially for Ivor Storm, where you can just focus on grip knocks instead of using his mind control. Like, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get someone knocked off with a mind control, where compared to a grip knock, you can pretty much 100% always get a decent grip knock as long as your DK and Boom can prepare it properly.
I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think it also was smart for Belly to bring up the fact that ABN doesn't have a Hunter, so his only knock then in middle is what is his Boomies and his Lock, right? I guess Oz could run with, a Succubus pet that he could knock with, which is pretty viable, actually. Plus, he has the extra Druids. They could all just go Typhoon. Maybe that Priest won't make a difference. Datacus might not even bring the Priest, too. He could do the Mistweaver, Holy Paladin, Druid, which I think we've actually been seeing him train with. So I don't know if he would choose EOTS. ABN might choose EOTS. I think ABN's going to choose Gilneas if it's his first choice. I think Datacus will probably choose, I don't know, like an FC map or a Deep Wind Gorge, maybe even a Silver Shard Mines. Just like I was saying, some way to move, some objective that can move. I think that's the best way he'll be able to take out Team ABN is choosing those maps.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. So we're just waiting for the two teams to go ahead and add on Synapse here as we enter the game. So both teams, ABN and Datacus, if you are there, please do add on Synapse and whisper him on Real ID. So, guys, we'll get right into the series in just a moment, but we're going to cut to a quick break here, and we'll be right back with Game 1 of ABN versus Datacus.
Hey, what's up, guys? Synapse here, and we're going to do a roll. The roll is going to be between USA Proxy, ABN, and Trendsetters. ABN picked heads, number 1. Trendsetters picked number 2, tails. So here goes the roll. And the winner is 2, which means it's tails. Trendsetters is going to pick the map. We'll be right with you.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Sorry about that quick break that we had to take there. We were just making sure that everything was resolved. Obviously, when we're swapping over from one series to another, new teams, new people, new Real ID issues, stuff like that. So it all can come up. But hey, either way, we are here, we are ready, and we are going into Game 1 right now of Deep Wind Gorge. It's going to be Team USA Proxy, PKB, SX6, ABN versus the one, the only Trendsetters led by Datacus. Let's get right into it here, guys. Very exciting matchup to begin with. Breaky, talk to me about this series. I mean, USA Proxy, PKB, SX6, the champions of the Battle of the Atlantic, featuring against Datacus, a very strong team who wants to try and pull himself up and possibly even beat ABN. This is going to be an exciting matchup.
Can I just call them Team ABN?
Go for it.
I mean, Yeah, that name is a little over the top, but hell, I'll call them Team USA even. Anyways, the point being, yeah, these guys, they're coming off that big victory as far as the previous tournament. Now, the first thing I'm noticing right off the bat, ABM himself is not actually playing from what I can tell.
Wow.
On the side, so maybe it shouldn't be called Team ABN.
Yeah, he may be leading from inside a Skype call, which is very interesting indeed. Unseen's on the Rogue, of course, and we see all the way through. They're choosing to pull out the Mistweaver, Resto Druid, and what looks like to be the Holy Paladin. The pretty standard healing comps here. Not too much of a change. From Trendsetters, of course, they're going to use the Resto Druid, Paladin, and Mistweaver as well. So same healing lineup, but they're choosing to bring the Boomkins, which is quite surprising for the US meta. Or not.
Well, just in general, but yeah, not running with the Shadow Priest. I think a lot of people are going to realize that right off the bat. Of course, our previous series, and going into tonight, we were talking about a Shadow Priest, arguably the strongest range DPS as far as that's concerned. That meta that word that likes to be thrown around really revolves around them. So not running the Shadow Priest on the side of Team USA, ABN, whatever. We'll see how that may affect some things. But obviously, we're on Deep Wind Gorge right here. This is game number 1 of a 7-game series, guys. So best of 7, at least 4 games, if not impossible 7 games in total. So prepare for some good old World of Warcraft rated battlegrounds. With that said, we are kicking it off, and both teams headed towards the middle, looks like.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game 1 of USA ABN versus Trendsetters. Getting into the mid-fight here, we were talking a little bit about what can you really do on this map. There's so many variable strategies on here, and it really comes down to the comp that you're going to be running. Now, for Deep Wind Gorge, I mean, you can contest all 3, you can contest 1 in middle, but I think what it's really going to come down to, for these 2 teams at least, and in general, is that they're going to really be contesting this middle flag.
Yeah, you see right here, I mean, right off the bat, Elite actually has to take the Cocoon. He's, of course, the Holy Paladin on the side of Team USA. And there is a battle down here at one of the mines, actually. Azariu, of course, is a well-known streamer. A lot of people are going to be cheering him on, I'm sure. And he's putting out some pressure, but he's feeling it himself. Smexton on their side also. He's trying to drop a little bit low. But yeah, something else, Trendsetters, no Shadow Priest on the side of Alliance over here, but on Trendsetters, they're running the double Shadow Priest. So, really taking advantage of the power of them, you could safely say. But definitely both teams pretty much contending for what seems to be this bottom mine area and the Pandaren mine, I believe. As you see, the Goblin mine was taken over by Team ABN.
Yeah, exactly. So now all of a sudden, Team ABN, they're going to have that cap before Center mine caps or before Pandaren mine caps. And what that means is that they're going to have those points rolling in before anyone else. And this is really important here because when you talk about these 2 teams, this map can really come down to a matter of inches. It's who can get that first 200-point advantage and then start capping cards off of that is a trend that we really see often. But Derivative does fall, and First Blood going over to USA Proxy ABN.
Yeah, seems like things are going in their favor so far. Obviously, still plenty of game left, but they're the ones with momentum. And as anyone would know that plays Ready Battlegrounds, momentum is an absolutely big thing. As far as comeback potential, it could be very difficult. So you see a couple more kills happening, and it seems like ABN getting a little more comfortable with how things are looking. Now, still no other caps, but for the time being, again, they're the only ones with a cap at that Goblin. Still fighting in the middle, as well as a Pandaren mine right now. Nobody going for the carts just yet as well, worth noting.
Yeah, it was really interesting that ABN chose to contest all 3 mines in the beginning of this fight here. That's something that you really don't see a lot. Typically, teams like to play it safe and just contest for 1, but in the end, I mean, he's going for all 3. He wants to cash grab, if we may.
Yeah. Exactly. They want that money, homie. So they're going to be going for that here. As far as the middle's concerned, it looks like a chance at a cap, but no, it's still not going to be happening. So Datacus, I feel like he's been running for his life for a while right here. In the meantime, he's going to make his way back to Pandaren Mine and look to get some heals up if possible, but they may need to retreat this here in the near future. You see, again, players continuing to drop on their side, and so far, Team ABN, I don't believe they have lost anyone just yet. As Zaryu, though, he is starting to dip. Beastmaster Hunter, the red raptor is on him, or dinosaur, not a raptor. It's a dinosaur, but anyways, dude, it's a good damage. He will be fine, though, gets healed back up, and Guruk XO playing the Shadow Priest.
They did take the mine there, by the way. They did take center mine.
Yeah, they did.
So, yeah, Blake XO was actually able to take that. So now that they did that, that's really huge for USA ABN because now all of a sudden you've got 2 bases, and this opens up a whole range of possibilities for you. You can choose to contest all 3 and keep doing that, put out your base, put out the pressure. But now for Team ABN, it's very much less about the cart game. You don't necessarily have to play the cart game if you're at those 2 caps. All you really need to do, get the cart and let the other team get the cart, let them ring across mid, but basically hold your 2 bases and just slow their flag carrier and hope that he doesn't get a cap. That's, and points will override it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, with that said, I mean, Trendsetters, so again, it's safe to say I obviously either need to get this Pandaren mine some way, somehow, or perhaps go for Ninja elsewhere. And actually, the middle, they do. No, that was just taken over. Never mind.
Yeah,
no. Glitch there, so that would have been
Oh,
something, but never mind. little too excited for no good reason right there. But again, it still remains 2-0 in their advantage. But again, going back to Trendsetters.
Oh my God.
Looking to Ninja somewhere else, perhaps.
They take it. They just took the 3-cap.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have what could very well be a 3-cap climax coming out from USA Proxy, PKB, SX6, ABN, not even a few minutes into this game. Exaru on the grab there at top. Very well done.
So much for the Shadow Priest meta, man. Double Shadow Priest just getting overrun here on the side of Trendsetters. And Trendsetters trying to set them trends. Well, ain't working too well so far right here in game number 1. And it's going to be a 3-0 cap. So obviously, and again, they can sit on this, perhaps run for cards if they like to. But Trendsetters, they need to get one of these places and then go for cards on top of that. So it's just they're working from behind here pretty big time. And I believe that was the first kill maybe on Blake XO right there, the monk on the side of Team ABN. So at least a little bit of blood being spilled right there on their side, but he comes right back up after the resurrection, and going to be good to fight once again. So there's a lot of contention, though, here in the middle, but again, they need to clean them up. I wonder if ninjas are going elsewhere. Well, there's Datacus. He's going to pick up the card, so no bases, but he says, hey, at least we can try to get something here.
That's what you got to do at this point. You know, ABN, they have map control completely over this point. They have all 3 maps. Nodes at this point. There really isn't much you can do. The points are going to tick in so quickly now. It's almost like getting a 3-cap on Gilneas. It's going to come in very quickly. Not as quickly as that necessarily, but you're definitely going to feel it. And it's going to put them so far ahead. All they really need to do is hold this for what may well be just maybe 2 minutes, and they're able to lock this game up immediately. Datacus already feeling pressure as he brings the flag midfield. And I think that what was really interesting from Team Trendsetters is that we expected the rainbow comp we were talking about, where they bring one of each class, but they've chosen not to do that and instead run double Druid, double Shadow Priest, cart goes down, and all of a sudden ABN, they are so far ahead. It is unreal.
Yeah, this could be just a clean sweep here at this rate. I mean, and talk about what a statement to make in game number 1 here. And the biggest thing I think you have to know here, this was Trendsetters' map. They're the ones that won the roll, so you would figure that clearly they're at least somewhat confident with this map, with their strategy, their idea, but clearly it did not go as planned. And I think a lot of that has to do with what happened at Goblin Mine. I mean, I don't know if Trendsetters just didn't send anyone there, but Team ABN, they got that right off the bat, I feel like. And whether that was just a quick kill or just simply just no one else being sent there, you got to question that a little bit.
Yeah, no, they definitely didn't send anybody there. And I think that was a really smart play on ABN. He caught their strat. I mean, these guys have played together for God knows how long, whether on the same team or against each other. And they can know and feel out their enemy and their opponent and kind of have an idea of what strat they're going to run. So I think that was a really good call on ABN to say, okay, we're going to actually contest all 3 mines here. And as you can see, it's worked miracles for him. 10-32-0 right now. I mean, this game massively in favor of Team ABN.
Well, yeah, clearly, again, so many maps being here in Rated Battlegrounds. Trendsetters, they're going to have to start thinking about what that second map is now going to be, because clearly this is going to be all Team ABN right here, and pretty much nothing else going to change. See Zaryu, just in case, putting down the Blizzard on the flag as a good defending mage would do, but not even necessary there. Datacus, he's just enjoying the view in the meantime. He's getting a good shot. I wonder if he has a selfie camera. That could be a good selfie pose right there. But he's not taking advantage of it, I think. He should be, man, getting a good shot, but no, this is going to be a victory. I mean, you can tell they've pretty much given up as well. To be frank, they kind of just need to, because it's, you know, this is the thing though about a best of 7. You know, any game. I mean, again, I come from Heroes of New Earth. It's the same thing over there. That we only play best of 3, but still, the idea that in a game number 1, it's a feeler game. It's a feeler game. Okay, they felt out Team ABN. Clearly, they're very powerful on this map. At least get now an idea of what they're looking to run, how they're looking to play, perhaps. And use this best of 7 series with that advantage, you know. So going into game 2, I hope, and something tells me it's not going to be the same result by any means, but we'll see.
No, I don't believe so at all. I mean, obviously, game 1, obviously a feel-out match. Try and figure out what your opponent is going to do, what comps they're going to run. Very important. USA Proxy, PKB, SX6, ABN, they take this in a clean sweep over the Trendsetters. 1,500-0 in game 1. Let's take a look at damage real quick. Staying strong. The DK to really watch on Team ABN, topping the damage meters on that Frost Death Knight. And the healing done, of course, 10 million from both these teams. So very clear. Excuse me, no, that's completely wrong. But 8 million from Vo. And we saw Elite XD topping with 6 million as well. So for both these teams, a lot of pressure. But just overall, I mean, out-healed by ABN.
Yeah,
well
definitely. Well done, well played. And Team ABN, but again, making a statement right there. But like I said, it's a feeler game. It's a best of 7 series. There's still plenty of games to go. So looking forward to seeing how things shape up after that. So looks like I'm now officially Smitey here.
Oh yeah, well,
so-
you never know.
No, we're moving names around. Okay.
Switching it up a little bit.
Playing a little musical chairs. I like it.
What do you guys think, though, analysts?
Yeah. That game was actually a lot closer than people even realize. I know you see that 1500-0 and you think, oh man, it was just a clean sweep. But basically what happened was ABN stratted around Datacus. And this is what I was talking about earlier with these two leaders, play against each other and with each other frequently enough they can do these kind of strat calls. Basically what happened was Datacus sent that KFC with the Druid healer to their off node, and ABN matched it with Shane on Demo Lock and Zero on Mage, and it was enough damage to actually put Datacus behind on the healing. He almost died on the initial node, and they eventually lost that node. Zero got the cap. While that was happening, though, that double Spreece was not enough in middle to put pressure on ABN. He never fell behind in that middle, so they got the middle cap, and there was no contest for the third. That's how you get all three in a row, and it was smart for Datacus at that point to just kind of give up because there wasn't coming back from it.
Yep.
Queue up and move on to the next game. Keep that morale
Exactly.
high. That's probably what he's thinking.
Hey man, Datacus very strong when it comes to the winning the mental game. I mean, he's a very strong RBG leader in that aspect. I've personally seen it time and time again from playing with his group or against his group. He has the capabilities to really keep a team up there, keep them motivated, and even in the face of defeat, keep them going. And I think that's really going to come into play.
I'm not entirely sure why he even sent that KFC to that node, to be honest. I would much rather have that warrior in middle. And I do the same on my druid. Sometimes I go and be that healer at that node, but I think what you want is probably your weakest healer there with a hunter and then +1, maybe, a rogue or whatever else you can provide, for that. I think he also probably should have sent the rogue to maybe contest that third node. I'm not entirely sure why that node was just kind of given up to ABN, whether they actually did send someone there and they just, like you were saying, died in the 1v1, or if they just left it uncontested, which seems kind of odd to me, that they would even try to go for something like that, because there's going to be a contest put on your third base at some point. So to not contest the enemy's third is a poor choice, and I think it's just a small mistake that ABN took advantage of.
Here's what I'm really surprised about. Again. Okay, here's what
what's
really surprises me, and I don't get this at all. I don't know if you guys can explain this to me or not, but Team Datacus, they were Horde, right? And typically the Goblin Mine is a Horde base, and typically Pandaren Mine usually goes to the Alliance. That's generally the way it goes for the most part. I mean, you can't contest all three. It's not like one is in favor of the other, but typically Horde tends to contest bottom, Alliance tends to contest top, and it looks like ABN was expecting them to show up, but they never did at bottom. That was surprising for me. Maybe they wanted to have more people at their two nodes to have the numbers advantage there and let them just get that base, but pretty surprising that they chose to do that, don't you think?
Yeah, well, not really. You're right. The basic meta is always go to the right-hand side node. So like you were saying, Horde is one and Alliance is the other. Sometimes you just flip it, though, especially if you know the enemy team. You can just literally, mirror your strategies, and that could be enough to put somebody, off and tilt them a little bit. I don't think it phased Avian at all, and I think he just took advantage of it. I was surprised the Shadow Priest didn't do more damage in middle.
Yeah,
Two
again,
Shadow
having the double Shadow Priest just clearly something wasn't able to connect right there. But what I like to say about games like this, again, in a series like this, is you gotta have short-term memory, is what I like to say. As far as if you're Trendsetters here, just very short-term memory. What happened. Let's move on to this next game and clearly try something different and use it as that feeler game once again. So
the double Shadow Priest, I mean, I think that they're trying to set the trend as it would be so for the new meta.
That's really not going to work with the type of healers ABN has right now. Vo is the best just straight up numbers healer in the game. I've never seen him wipe to just like a rod comp. The amount of healing he can put out is insane.
Yeah, I understand the one Shadow Priest, but to double down on it like that, I don't really think that's even the rainbow comp that they were looking for. It might have been a poor choice.
I think
you
can
they'll
bring
do it
back
in another
season
game.
13 and 14, right? When we had the double Destro comp, that was really in the meta at that point. Do you think that they're thinking it that way and they're trying to set that up? I mean, personally, if I was to think, I think that that's what they were kind of thinking going into that match.
Well, we've definitely heard the theory crafting that Shadow Priests are, supposed to be the new top damage dealers. That's obviously didn't happen on that last map, but that could just be position in CC.
Yeah, you can't really
not necessarily their class. Yeah, exactly. I don't think you will see double Shadow Priests though, unless honestly, that really is the new meta that they're trying to set.
I think Datacus might. Can you check the same map again?
No, he
I
cannot.
feel like he might want to try that again because I feel like if he changes some things up, it could go different. Like honestly, I think Giga already touched on it, but the score is not really. It doesn't really show how the game went. Like, it could have gone either way, even though it was kind of a blowout score-wise, but just, ABN had a better strat.
Yeah, it's no, you can't choose the same map again, or else That would be a little repetitive, unfortunately, or fortunately, I think. So, yeah, I'm glad they can't personally. So, but I'm curious. I guess we don't have a decision just yet. But what do you guys think? Like, I know it's ultimately up to whatever they're comfortable with, what strategies they have. But what should we expect here as far as a map? I mean, clearly, Deep in Course into work. Do they go for a flag carry map? Do they go for a temple map, perhaps, for the all-out battle here?
You're going to see EOTS come out of Datacus, I think.
I think EOTS. I don't think an FC map is. I feel like Field DK is a much more experienced Blood DK than the DK's ABN or Datacus has. So I feel like an FC map is not going to really play to Datacus' advantage. So I think you're right. EOTS, where they can try for Nox, is the best choice for them right now.
Exactly.
I mean, if it was any other two teams against each other, you could even, see Silver Shard Mines as an option, but I don't think Datacus is going to go for that now to put, the momentum in the ABN's favor by potentially losing the second game. Again, your choice. If you choose something like Silver Shard Mines would hurt a lot. So he's going to want to pick something that he knows he can take this new comp to and try to put up the numbers he wants to see and actually get his strats with his comp on the map. Something like EOTS, I think, would be his best advantage for the Nox.
We don't typically see a Deep Wind Gorge come out as the first pick. It's usually going to be like a battle for Gilneas or something, but they chose to pick that map, which was an interesting pick, not something that you see a lot. Going into this next game, I think that you guys are really on the ball with this for the Eye of the Storm. Really, it's a map that is kind of like the ace in the hole for a lot of teams, because a lot of the times you can use the Grip Nox, use the map to your advantage. We saw them really play to the map, Team Datacus more specifically, in the Battle of the Atlantic Series against Lamos, I believe it was. So, coming into this game, I think that they're going to play the map, and they're going to try and bring some kind of crazy comp that you guys have never seen before. But we're still waiting.
Oh, here it is right here, EOTS.
It is EOTS.
You were right, Giga.
Yeah,
so
typical Giga.
And there we are. So it is Eye of the Storm for the very first map here. A second map, excuse me, on this series between Trendsetters.
Almost feels like the first one.
It feels like the first one. My God, the speed of that one. There we go. All right, let's get right into it, guys. Breaky, here we go, my man. So breaking down these teams real quick. Blake XO, oh, you have the leave from ABN. Looks like some issues there. We'll head over to our refs and see what is going on with that. That's unfortunate. That happens,
they did bring out the double Shadow Priest again. Look at that. There's double Shadow. So maybe this is the comp he really is trying to. Yeah, it's what he's. That's what he did. I know, right? This maybe really is a new meta that Datacus thinks he's discovered and wants to put into effect. These Shadow Priests have got to, got to live long enough to make it worth their while, though.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, you see this here. I just went off stream, of course, but with the new meta, of course, the double Shadow Priest, very interesting pick. And I think that's really going to play to their advantage because you have 2 life grips on this map. Yeah. So that's really, as long as the priest.
That might be what he was thinking with that, for to save his team. Yeah, I could see the life grips playing a major role. How many? And ABN has no priest,
and the mind
control. I think.
And the
mind control to put people in position to get knocked. It's a very powerful comp.
Very strong for this map. We didn't really get too much of a chance to see ABN's comp before we unfortunately had to cut there, but we are waiting on us to get right back in. Apparently,
I haven't heard the update yet. Maybe somebody else could help me out with that. Can you still dominate mine to a bop on EOTS for the flag, or did they take that out? Was that hot fixed? Last I heard, it was still in, but I think they might have hot fixed it.
Selly, would you have? Can you dom?
If you can dom bop the flag on EOTS.
I haven't really seen that. Most people go for Nox now. I think they might have fixed it. I'm not 100% positive. I don't want to. Actually, I haven't seen it for so long that I think it has been fixed.
Okay. Yeah, they'll probably just stick to the standard knock strategies then, which is acceptable and a good way to play that map. I'd like to see if they're going to ghost, the second base. Who are they going to sit, and are they going to push the third node? Are they just going to win the team fight? Maybe they could just cap. Remember what happened last time, though? Datacus actually got that cap on, what was it, Balamos, right? In the Battle of the Atlantic. And they lost that FC. That FC died, and they counter-pulled the cap, which is pretty good.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the counter-pull. Honestly, some of the strats that Datacus could come out here, I think might be pretty surprising. He might ghost bases. I think he might ghost both bases. I could see him doing that.
Oh, really?
I think he might try to ghost both bases. Even ABN,
I don't know about
we might see like a base swap because both teams ghost their bases. Honestly, because ABN and Datacus are both known to ghost bases a lot.
Maybe a single ghost, but I don't know if he would risk it after a loss.
A double?
It's 1-0. It's 1-0. Yeah, he wouldn't give up MT and TR at the same time. I think that's too risky even for Datacus.
I don't think it's that risky for ABN. I could see ABN doing that.
Yeah, I could see ABN doing it. I could see
ghosting both bases. Yeah,
super crazy like that. Yeah.
Update from endgame. It looks like there was some confusion with the rocks in the middle if it was the right EOTS map as people had thought, but it was. So we're going to be getting right back into the game here in just a moment. We're just waiting for the teams to get ready to go. So we should be back in here, but just a little bit of confusion with the rocks in the middle if they were there or not. But we should be ready to go. And
sounds like some mind games going on amongst these leaders right now. I don't know about that. I'd like to see them go toe to toe and just play this out. These teams are both top tier. I think they're capable of more than that. Seeing rocks when they need to.
You never know. But hopefully it will be the rated version of Eye of the Storm, and it won't be stupid with the knockoffs as it is in the regular version.
Yeah, without the rocks, that could get pretty absurd, especially if you don't have as strong of a knock comp. I think ABN actually has a.
I'm pretty sure that they have the walls. No, Datacus has a much better knock comp than.
Well, he definitely has a better one. Yeah, Datacus has a better knock comp for sure.
I'd say, yeah, I think Datacus is probably at 3-1 on knocks.
Here we are. Oh my god. Look at
the
these
double
picks.
Shadow Priest again.
The double Mistweaver and Warlock. What is going on right now? These comps are crazy. My god. I have not seen a double lock. I can understand the Mistweaver, the double Mistweaver for the Transcendence on this map, which is smart, but the double lock, not seen too often today. What do you guys think about that? The double Shadow Priest as well from both these teams. This is crazy.
I think double lock is smart. He's basically just matching the double Shadow Priest, and
exactly.
Both locks have a knock, and the Shadow Priest don't. I think this is a great move out of ABN comp-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the thing about it is that with that Transcendence, that's really going to negate a lot of the grip knockoffs that they're going to have. Both choosing to run with the DK, obviously smart, get the grip knockoffs. And USA ABN, they are playing to what looks like the map. Actually, no, I believe that is backwards, so the frame's at the top. I want to adjust that real quick. But on the left is Trendsetters for Horde, and of course on the right is USA Proxy for the Alliance. We'll swap that over real quick in just a moment. But still, pretty
now,
cool.
Who is ABN going to sit on this? You think Zera is actually going to sit, or you think he's going to sit him in the team fights, sit one of these locks and maybe a rogue or something like that?
He may well sit a lock.
I mean, normally in this setup,
maybe probably a rogue.
You would have
sit a rogue and ghost.
Yeah, you would have a melee sit FR if you were on ABN, and then you would put your mage at BT. But I don't see Zeru sitting very often. I think they're going to put Zeru into the team fight. And probably
I think he'll
really
sit.
Think so?
I could see Zarya sitting. Just nah, I think you might be right there.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're going to put Zaru into the team fight. They're going to rely on that heavy arena experience.
Who do you think's going to sit for ABN?
Shane. I think they're going to sit Shane.
Sit a lock?
King Shane. Yeah.
Over,
well, he's the demo lock too. Oh no, he's actually Afi right now.
No, then he's not going to sit. They would never sit Nafi.
Yeah, I wouldn't sit Nafi.
It's probably going to be Zarya.
They're going to be Zera then. Yeah.
Either way, guys.
They're going to have Rogue do FR. Yeah.
Well, Breaky, my man, here we go. For game number 2, it's going to be Trendsetters versus USA Proxy PKD SX6 ABN. We're getting in the mid-fight here, and the rocks are there as promised. And we're about ready to get into this. So, from both the team comps, we want to make a note here that there was some dispute on a texture healing rule from the last series, but as of this one, that rule has been revoked, and teams are completely allowed to do it. So if you see it, it is completely legal. Both teams can do it, so there you go.
Exactly. It's one of those cases, both teams have the capabilities and know how to do it, so, just allow it so there's not any controversy, any questions, and let bygones be bygones, as I say. So, wow! Asper off the bat, he got exploded on. Wait, did he actually die?
He got kicked back. What?
Okay.
God's name just happened to Asper? He literally dropped down to like 1%.
I don't think that was a knockoff. Yeah, that was him. No, I don't know, man. Something happened crazy, but yeah, that was on the side of Team AB. And obviously no flag gap or anything like that. Both sides do have the towers in their favor, so it is 2-2 in that sense as well. Of course, though, the middle, that's going to be what matters here. Once again, I want to know, Team ABN, they're running without ABM. I'm sure, again, he's in the Skype call, whatever, leading the way as far as strategy goes, but he is not playing here. That we know of, at least.
Either. They're choosing to bring in Baby for this, and, or excuse me, no, that's on.
They're running Zaryu.
My God, no, I'm all messed up right now. No, they do have Zaryu in there, and they're running the double lock, but still no ABN. He's probably in the call, and they have Unseens, of course, on there on Jamie Woods, so all players in there from Team ABN, but now the rot really begins in middle as Derivative does drop along with Merc Mines, what looks like to be a very stable mid-fight so far for Team USA ABN.
Yeah, and you look at the Shadow Priest also going down Merc Mines right there, so one of their 2 Shadow Priests. Remember, knockoffs happening, I believe, and yeah, Volal right there, actually. The Resto Druid for the side of Team ABN, he does go down, and also the DK. So knockoff's trying to be a big role right here. Again, talking about the knockoffs, of course, the mind control on top of that. Haven't really seen too much of it just yet, but knockoff's doing enough. Pharaoh, is he going to drop? No, bubble, not going to be enough. He does get executed, and he goes down when it's all said and done. But hey, as long as the flag isn't being picked up, that's what matters here. And so far, that hasn't happened yet on either side. But as far as big healer cooldowns, I mean, both sides have definitely used them. So this is the opening now for one of these teams, perhaps, to make something happen.
It's really great on Team Trendsetters, able to pick their team back up even after looking at near death. Goku, I mean, he gets knocked immediately. But they were able to pick it up, and they were able to get down Vo. Now Blake. And the CC from ABN, you saw on the Datacus and Moonfall, both of them, getting stunned and cloned at the same time. Just unreal right now. They're lining up so much pressure, and this truly is the comeback map for Trendsetters. It is what they really need to get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, you saw Derivative down there. He's doing that texture healing that we're referring to. Datacus, he's getting low. No, he's going to be fine, though. He gets healed back up, and good for the time being, at least. See Merkmine's right there using his defensive cooldown to help stay alive. But the spread damage is almost like the first series that we saw. E-Heroes, the damage that they applied in that series. You know, Team ABN doing the same here. You know, last game, there wasn't necessarily the huge fight that we were able to see. This time, there is, of course, being the Storm's in the middle, and we are noticing the spread damage is real. That double lock strat clearly paying dividends here. Datacus, well, he's not going to live much longer, and yep, he goes through the world right there.
He's
so
taking a trip to the void.
Yes, he is, but still no flag pickup yet. Again, that's what remains to be the biggest deal here. And in fact, the scores are literally, I'm trying to look at both of them at the same time. I'm pretty sure they were capped.
Oh, they're identical. This will be a tie if they can't get that. But at the same time, ABN, I mean, he has so much pressure here in the mid-fight. And there you go. Vo's going to take it. I mean, no surprise there. They're able to get this flag. And now they're able to bring this back into the base as Trendsetters begins to melt. And they're going to have to regroup.
Oh, yeah, gonna have to regroup. I mean, what's done is done. Now, actually, I want to bring this up to you. What do you think, Volo right here, you know, there was contention. Clearly, they won it, but could there be any idea to possibly hold on to this flag here a little bit, or is it just cap it and go?
It looks like they're going to cap it and go. That's interesting. You know, I think that with Datacus still split, they probably could have held onto the flag for a little bit there, rack up a few points, bring the game a little bit closer into the late game. But at the same time, you know, they're going to cap the flag first, which I think is smart, you know. While the team is there, you have the opportunity to basically slow Datacus and get them out of the mid-fight. But, of course, just a little short there. Flag is reset as we get into the second mid-fight.
Yeah, you know, something else, we're talking about the double lock, but how about the double monk? I mean, again, that idea in itself, talk about the class stacking right there. They're doing it with the double monk, not something you would see nowadays, but, or really ever, I don't recall, I think it's safe to say, but they're going with it here now. Virelia, he's actually taking some good pressure. As I say that, he doesn't fall, though. Staying alive there. I'm Mongo, actually. He's trying to...
That's Asper and Jamie. What? Yeah, oh my gosh. Asper and Jamie Woods, they're trying to set that up. That's PK, actually. So they have the Boomkin and the Rogue double wombo combo there at MT. And they're going to try and get this base for them, which is really just incredible because they're contesting mid at the same time that they're doing this.
Yeah.
And now look at this. So Moonfall, he's in a full clone. Jamie's capping. There's a bomb on Asper. They can't stop this cap right now. Moonfall is in a full stun. And Asper, he's going to get Age Tower. What a great lineup there.
Yeah, no, that was, you know, fantastic decision. I want to see in the last series, you know, we weren't seeing a whole lot of innovation in terms of, you know, more so responding as far as, you know, one thing isn't working, let's try something else. We didn't see a whole lot of that. This time around, we see that from Trendsetters. They're making the point, you know what, middle's just not going for us. The clear big fight at the middle lane or in the middle of the map here. And we see, obviously, as you pointed out, they will go to Mage Tower, they try for the Ninja initially, they get the support needed. Great job cutting off their support, and they get the cap on the Mage point. Now, the flag still has not been picked up in the middle as well, so they're going to have a 3 cap here for the time being. Now, it's pretty difficult to hold a 3 cap. 10 versus 10 tonight of the Storm is safe to say. So it might not last forever for sure, but at least it puts them ahead, and now it's gonna cause Team ABN to, well, they got to try to take another point, and that could clear up the middle as a result.
Yeah, exactly. Now that you have this cap basically in purgatory, as one would say, going back and forth, it's points that are just free right now for USA ABN, and they're pulling ahead because they have 2 bases and Trendsetters has only 1. And now all of a sudden that they get Mage Tower, they now have the 3 cap, and it's just a matter of how long can you hold this for. Smexon and Oz, they're in mid right now at what looks to be a completely uncontested flag, as Trendsetters peels back to focus more on getting this Mage Tower back. I don't know if that was a smart move or not, but we'll have to see as the catchphrase that you would say. I don't want to take your line, Breaky.
But at what cost?
Exactly.
I was waiting for the right moment. Well, thank you for the setup. Asper, he is getting a low right here. Is he going to be able to survive through it? It doesn't look like it. He will fall when it's all said and done. So, yeah, again, the 3-cap, though, is working. Clearly, Trendsetters, or excuse me, Team ABN, they're trying to get Mage Tower back. And that's, a little bit curious there. Why not try to perhaps go aggressive somewhere else? And you see Zarya trying for that, going up. No, Oz, actually, they're on his side as well. No, okay, that's the one that... they have. What was I backwards? Oh my god, I wasn't I? That makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, Team ABN, they're the ones that are head 3-1. Holy crap! I'm sorry about that. I got confused.
Oh, good. It happens.
Yeah. So yeah, they're just gaining the lead even more and more as far as Trendsetters is concerned. Again, they're trying to get Mage Tower back, and actually, so going back to that point, a little curious about that. Does that make the most sense to try to defend that Mage Tower, really try to take it back, or go elsewhere? Now I know as far as the respawn goes, that is your closest option, but.
They're going to have to do what they can, At this point, Datacus is realizing he's down 2 caps at this point. He's trying to get in the mid and contest that flag. He's able to pick himself up there with a very good heal. But at the same time, he gets knocked, and they're in so much trouble here because it looks like they're going to get the flag. They get their base back, right? And they have Wealthy High. He's able to sit in mid and try and spin this flag for right now. But at the time being, Trendsetters, they were able to get Mage Tower back. Now it's a matter, can they hold that cap and can they get in the middle? But what ABN really did is he created pressure in that scenario. He basically threw off Trendsetters and he forced them to make a very split-second decision, which ultimately cost them probably 100+ points from residue and along with that a base, and they get it back.
Yeah, they get it back, and so Team ABN making a statement. They're not going to give in easy as far as having that 3 cap, and sure enough, they do get it back. So back to the middle again. No flag pickup has even happened since we saw the cap earlier from Team ABN that set this momentum in action here in their favor. But it seems like Mage Tower is the action point. Middle, you do see right there, not as much going on, but still, of course, both teams are occupying it as much as they can. Now, again, trying to look out for possible mind controls and knockoffs here. Nothing really happening just yet. But back to the Mage Tower. They're really trying to push what they can to take it over. But you see Trendsetters, they're the ones that are dropping quickly. And in fact, Team ABN right there is going to completely hold it off.
Yeah, completely.
This 3-1 advantage.
And, we talked about this a little earlier, is that when you force and when you push that third base, when you put on the pressure and not only contest one thing but another at the same time, you force these split-second decisions and you throw the team off mentally. And that's really, I think, what this game is coming down to, the mental game. And that is what USA ABN is so good at. As you can see here, Unseen's, he's been all around the map, getting that map coverage, getting that so crucial ninja cap on the Mage Tower. And it's forced Trendsetters to choose, do we want to get the flag or do we want to get our base back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very difficult decision for Trendsetters. Gotta commit to one or the other, though. And again, the idea of trying to defend that Mage Tower clearly not working. So where else will they go? Since they're gathering up, trying to decide here, whoever their captain is here on their side, Datacus, of course. And I've heard about Datacus, by the way. He's a very numbers guy. He's a very guy that really likes to think about the numbers, likes to really crunch those numbers, hence the name Datacus in itself. And so probably going through that idea right now, maybe running a spreadsheet on it to see what makes the most sense right here. But gonna head towards the middle, it looks like. Smexon, he's just spinning around, doing some good damage.
Yeah, he may be the data man, but he could not calculate Vogue getting that flag in middle as he brings it back to the base. So I think that if you're USA ABN, you're pretty far ahead at this point. You're up about 2 caps, now 3. I mean, they're going to be able to get that flag, and all of a sudden, Datacus, he's trying to contest this base with 3 people against Unseens and staying strong. They're going to be able to hold that off for a little bit, but, I mean, they got to focus on getting their base back first, but it's very difficult for them to come back at this point.
Yeah, Datacus right there trying to invis in and stealth ninja the Mage Tower, but it ain't gonna happen, says Team ABN. They respond to it, they react to it quickly enough, and before you know it, again, the 3-1 advantage as far as the base caps. They now got the 2 caps on top of that, and it's looking like Team ABN right now maybe on their way to a 2-0 series lead here. And what is this best of 7? Of course, they actually got it. Okay, so they do get Mage Tower. Again, they're going to need more, though. That's the thing. They're going to need a lot more. They need at least another base cap and definitely even a flag cap at this point.
Yeah, they need a miracle, honestly. Mongo, I mean, he's dropping down very low for Trendsetters as they push on the DR immediately after they lose that MT base. Oh, they're heading over to FR now, Team Datacus. Yeah. So they're not giving up yet. This game isn't over for them, is what they're saying.
Yeah, why not?
Baby, he's going to peel back, and he's going to try and defend that best they can, but we saw the Stealth Dream Team heading over to FR a little earlier. Will be the question, will they defend that or not? Or, excuse me, try and contest that? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But there he is, Datacus, heading in, trying to get the ninja caps. I mean, that's really what he needs at this point. A 4 cap or it's over. He's got Moonfall, he's got Datacus. They trying to do what they can here. You never know.
Yeah, you think about Team ABN, though. They're possibly on the side of, okay, that's obviously 2-2, really not the biggest deal for us. We have a good lead right here. Let's maybe send a couple people on defense at each of the bases here and not necessarily really fight out that middle. Now, Datacus, is he actually going to get this? Wow, he does. The
wow,
patience right there. There was 2 people there. They left it, though. So Team ABN not playing as safe as I thought they were.
They need a 4 cap at this point. That base was a lot. That was a big turnaround for them. But they need a miracle still. They got the base, they have the 3 cap, very good plays, but those residue points from that 4 cap are just going to tick in so quickly. If they can get the flag here, they might be able to turn something around, but still, they've only got 130 points to go. And if you're USA Proxy PKB, you're still sitting pretty.
Yeah, no, it's still in a good spot. So, yeah, perhaps that has something to do with it, definitely. The idea that, we don't necessarily even need that. We can sit at the 1 base and we're fine with that. So, as powerful as I was, maybe gave a little bit of a momentum for Trendsetters. It's the big picture is that W, and right now Team ABN still on track to get that, pending the 4 cap. So, it's all going to come down to the Blood Tower here.
Yep, and that, that's the flag right there. That is the final nail in the coffin. Once they cap this, that will be GG. And they're going to get the 3 cap, but it simply will not be enough. So very good game from both these teams. Both able to put out just so much early pressure with those ninja caps, especially from Unseens. Datacus, very good effort from him trying to get that base, but unfortunately just wasn't at enough time.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So a 2-0 series advantage now in favor of Team ABN, of course, with that victory there. And Eyes of the Storm. Eyes of the Storm? It is Eyes, plural, right? Eye of the Storm. Wow. Anyways, Eye of the Storm right there. The double lock, the double monk. I mean, that was something, but clearly they knew what they had in mind. They had a good plan, and it worked out beautifully in the end for Team ABN. So congratulations to them. And once again, we'll have to wait and see what Trendsetters chooses now it's going to be their 3rd map here, now down 2-0.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're down right now, you're out of basically. I think it's going to be a flag carrying map. I'd be surprised if it wasn't anything like that. Maybe a Silver Shard Mines. But at this point, you're down 2-0 in the series. You have to pick a comeback map. Eye of the Storm is the comeback map. And they didn't come back on it. So now, all of a sudden, the pressure is on them. They are going to have to pick a more popular map, such as Warsong Gulch, Twin Peaks, in order to kind of push the series forward. We'll have to see what they do. I think whatever call it's going to be is going to be very interesting for Trendsetters. But Analyst Desk, let's bring it over to you guys. What did you think about that game?
Well, I thought that game was pretty good. If I was Datacus, okay, we need to restart the call. Okay.
I think we should be good. Oh, am I on camera?
Yeah, your camera's up.
I am here.
There we go.
We are back.
Beautiful face there.
All right, good. If I was Datacus, I would be yelling at my MT sitter right there, man. Like, first of all, you lose the node, which it happens that you can lose a node, especially on Eons. But then to have it recapped, you guys defend it and you go back, and then PK just instantly caps it on them again. I would really be frustrated with some of my MT players there. Also, I didn't see. I feel like Datacus is maybe trying to play a little too safe, trying to see if this composition is actually going to work for him. He's trying to set that trend, and it's like, nah, man, it's not working for you. You need to strat earlier. You need to be more aggressive. That FR cap was amazing. If he had only done that earlier in the game, then they would have only been behind by 2 caps. They could have, really done something off of that. So I'm just yelling at my MT sitter at this point. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Definitely.
So should be interesting here. And on the next map, I think that we've seen a lot of speculation around Silver Shard Mines. Because, they're down at this point. They're down from Deep Wind. They're down from Eye of the Storm. 2 very big maps that you can come back on. What can you really do? What do you think the map is going to be?
I think Silver Shard would be a good shout for that, I guess, at this point.
Smitey, I think you might have a boat coder on there, buddy.
Who knows? Classic.
Yeah, I definitely think that the next map choice is going to be important. I would really like to see a Gilneas or Cat Moku, but I don't know if Datacus is secured in his team fight now. He's lost the momentum. He's about to lose a 3rd game if he makes a poor choice. And I don't know if Cat Moku or Gilneas could really be in his favor. So yeah, I think we will see an FC map just out of default. That being said, I really want him to kind of, man up, grow a pair, really be aggressive here and say, no, I do have the better team fight. I am setting a trend. here's my trend. Let's go to a team fight map. Let's go to Cat Mogu, which is historically a really strong map for ABN. Or let's go to Gilneas, which again, historically is a really strong map for ABN. And let's put you in that graveyard and let's show you what's up. That's how he's going to turn this series, not playing safe.
Yeah, you got to play to win in the long run. I like that.
I reckon the Gilneas would be a good
behind
shout
the
for him
camera,
as well. I think that, with how Datacus wants to play with double Shadow Priest, it's obviously a very strong team structured kind of team fight base. Obviously, ABN's playing this double lock that's also kind of, that old classic meta of Rotten Dot. They're both kind of playing these kind of comps, but the Shadow Priest kind of side of things is a little bit more bursty compared to the double lock. So I think Gilneas would be a good shout, but they need to try and take these risks. They do need to try and send like a Rogue Boomkin to start Ninja and stuff. I think they just need to kind of put everything on the line here.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we have a map choice.
What is it?
It's gonna be Gilneas.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I think that was a poor choice again, man. These map choices tonight, these leaders are not thinking. Absolutely, like Smitey was saying, these double Shadow Priests, they're the whole reason Shadow Priest is so good is because they have that long sustained dot damage, but they can focus it into burst damage as well. That's what makes them a little bit better than some of the Affy locks in certain situations. So to take it over to Gilneas is basically saying, well, I'm never going to need that burst damage, or I'm only going to need it to get a kill, and only with the help from my warrior. I think that's a really bad choice, unless he's got some sort of strat for that map that he wants to try out, and flash up ABN with. I think Cat Mogu probably would have been a better choice, though, because at least that the moving orb objective will allow those Shadow Priests to focus and do that burst damage and really make a difference with the composition they're running. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's why I'm not in the tournament. Maybe that's why I'm just doing analysis. But Gilneas, all right, that's his choice.
It's usually an opener map, Gilneas. It's usually the first map that they want to pick. But for this time around, they're going to choose to basically throw that all out the window and say, okay, we want to throw them off on the map choice. And I think that's what they're really doing. They're setting the trend. Ha ha ha. All right.
So close to being
good. So we'll have to see how they can perform on this Gilneas as we get into it. We should be in game in just a moment, waiting for the teams, of course, to get formed, get ready, and get into it. But we're actually going to go. I actually want to do a giveaway real quick.
Nice. Giveaway.
We just have a lot of things to give away, man.
I know we do. We love it. So, guys, for this giveaway, we're going to do a Heroes of the Storm beta key once again, provided to us by Blizzard, of course, for US realms. If you guys want to get this, please do type in Heroes in chat right now. And you guys have the option to get that. So, very cool stuff. I'm excited for Overwatch, too. That's going to be coming out very soon. Hopefully, we'll get beta keys to that to give out.
Yeah, Blizzard did the panel today. They hyped up a little bit more about that game. I'm a huge fan of that game coming out in the future. So,
what is that? Overwatch? Is that what you said?
Yeah, first-person shooter game.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited for Overwatch. I've seen that today. They released that new girl tune, huh? I saw that.
Yeah, she's a bigger girl, man. She's like
she is.
Yeah, she is a fighter.
Bad bottom girls make the rockin' world go round.
Queen's a great band. Clint Eastwood. No, Clint. Wow, I'm sorry. Han is in my mind. Clint Eastwood is totally what I meant to say. Is the other character.
Oh, good. Well, looks like we may soon be getting into the next map pick. We are in on Battle for Gilneas, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Game 3. Trendsetters still has time to turn this around. The question on everyone's mind is, will they do it? Looking at these picks and bans here coming out so far, it's going to be Mongo on the Hunter, really standing out to me, and along with that on Team ABN, they're bringing out the Warlock.
Did you just say picks and bans?
I did say picks and bans. Picks for this time around. No bans.
Could you imagine if you could ban like a spec? Like ban a spec going into the game? It'd be fun. Ban multiple specs. Anyways, that's for the future. We're at the basics right now, okay? Anyway, so yeah, no, it's obviously a couple of differences here. And again, they're running with the double lock still. However, only the one monk this time. They got never mind. They were running 2 monks, so never mind. So I didn't catch that. But yeah, so did anything change?
Doesn't look like it. I mean, the Hunter is on for Team Trendsetters, but otherwise than that, they're still keeping that double Druid. Still the double Shadow Priest. I don't know what to say about that comp. I think it's really they both top damage. This
is the map it'll show, right? I mean, This is the one at Waterworks. This is the one where, and, I think it was actually Gigasnell there, making the point that although he kind of backtracked on it again, he said he would have rather seen the capture the flag map. I mean, I like this idea of, perhaps this is favored and for Team ABN, they like this style of map here, but this is Trendsetters saying, we're planning to win this series here. We're going to go big or go home. We're going to go big here on Gilneas, steal a map from you in a sense, and work it that way. Now, I believe I see some of Trendsetters going towards mines. if I'm not mistaken. So
I
want
to there. I want to get that started out. So they're going to set their Warlock Lighthouse. That's really interesting. So that means that opens up possibilities for Unseens on Jamie Woods to go and cap whatever he wants right now. That's huge.
Yeah. But
So
we do
they're
eventually meet in the middle here.
Oh, he's in a team fight. Wow, how about that? So keep your eye on Jamie Wood throughout the game. Him and Xaru, for that matter. As we get into the mid-fight here, they're both looking to contest Waterworks right away. And already, both teams not dropping too low, actually, which is surprising.
Who's defending for Team USA? Okay, yeah, here we go. We got Imongo trying to put some pressure, but yeah, King Shane is the one defending and is going to fight him off in the end, at least for the time being. So the idea of trying to send somebody to mine initially, now again, you got to keep this in mind here, because that means they are one person down now at Waterworks. So obviously the advantage of Team AB in there, so that Ninja not working definitely could hurt them here. And again, we see the spread damage coming out. Nobody dying just yet, but Derivative, he's getting low. Cheap shot on top of him. No smoke just yet. He's going to be fine for the time being, but now for Ro, the Warrior, he's dropping low right here. They're going to need to use a big cooldown if they have one.
Yeah, exactly. And you saw that their Imongo, I think this is really smart on Trendsetters. They've got their Rogue sitting Lighthouse Baby, I believe. And now what they can do is send Imongo off to try and get those ninja caps. But of course, they're going to be down statistically in the numbers on the team fight. I mean, it is a hunter, so it's not too crucial, but at the same time, I mean, they're feeling it nonetheless.
Derivative's bubble goes up right down. But the Shadow Priest, okay, no, he's going to be fine. The other Shadow Priest, though, Merc Mines, he does eventually fall. But here you go. Once again, now BCPY, he's coming to assist right here onto King Shane. Will they get the reinforcements? I mean, it's only him so far. No one's heading over just yet. This could be the ninja attempt that they're looking for and that they need right here. It looks like maybe one of the monks
is going to go there
right here, but he's good for now.
It's a 3v1 at mine. They can get this very easily if they may look to land a kill, but I mean, the timers are ticking down very, very quickly. King
How is he living?
I have no idea. That's incredible.
Demo power, man.
They'll take mine. So now they may well take. Oh my God, still at 1%.
This is ridiculous. Wow. Finally falls, but he survived long enough for Blake to get here, and it looks like Asper as well. Unbelievable. King Shane, the Demo Lock power is real. And staying alive, and Waterworks taken over by Team ABN.
Absolutely phenomenal play by King Shane there. I can't believe that he was able to stay alive 1v3 for that long. If he had died just even seconds before that, he would have lost mines. But he stalled that out enough he gave his team enough time for all of USA Proxy PKB to peel back, not all of them, but for them to peel back and help secure that base. Really just an incredible play. I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah,
they're getting wiped.
Exactly, they're getting wiped. And that was, I don't want to say an all-in move by Trendsetters because it's still very early on in the game, but that was, to an extent, it could be. It could be the only move that they were hoping for, that they would hope. Again, they were 1% on the lock. They were so close to getting it. And yes, that meant they really gave up Waterworks to an extent, as we eventually saw. But if they got this, that could have really set ABN off guard, and they would have been the ones responding. But it just didn't work out. Trendsetters falls just short, and now they're going to have to figure out how to attack this. Because once again, 2-to-1 maps, or 2-to-1 bases here on Battle for Gilneas. It is ridiculous to try to get one of these back, but, well, they're going to have to fight for it, and we'll see if they're up for the challenge.
Truly a game of inches. Staying strong. He does go down for ABN's team, and now they are down a little bit on a numbers advantage, but if you're Trendsetters, you have really options here. You can try and go for that ninja cap again on mines, which did work for them, to an extent, just they didn't have it quick enough. Or you can try and push back into Waterworks. I think that what you're going to see here, they're going to try and recontest this Waterworks fight, but at the same time, they're going to try and send maybe Imongo, Baby, possibly even, I don't know, maybe like Moonfall or something like that over to try and contest mines. I think that's smart.
You see the monk on the side of Trendsetters right here. Our master was up, not up for much longer. I believe he might have got locked out right there. There's the bop, though, and he puts the cocoon on top of that, so a double big cooldown coming out, and we'll keep him alive for the time being, but they're still going to train him, man. They're just really taking it to him. It looks like they might be switching, though. Derivative actually did get picked off, so that is a healer down on the side of Trendsetters, and it could get worse once again. So, yeah, they're trying to go for the all-out fight at Waterworks, and again, down 2-to-1 bases is definitely a bang in your head against the wall situation, as we talked about with the previous series, but they're trying to make it work. They just cannot break through, though. Clearly, Team ABN, they're a little bit stronger as far as the team fight is concerned, and it's just working out a little bit better for them. You got to think, though, this double monk is shown in the first two games, showing once again here in Game 3. Why do you think the double monk is working so well for Team ABN?
You know, that's really a tough one. You have the double cocoon. It's on a 1-minute cooldown, and it's a really strong healing comp. We heard a lot earlier. We heard some rumors around the community that they might bring out the double monk, but to run it on something other than Eye of the Storm, I've never really seen that before too often. It's an option. You can definitely do it, but it's proving to work for them so far. I mean, the double cocoon, very strong cooldown in the game, cannot be dispelled. And as a result of that, they're choosing to run it, which I think is smart on their part. Trendsetters, on the other hand, I mean, they've got the one monk, they've got the druid holy pally combo, which is a very safe healing combo. But it seems like ABN, he's able to keep his team up a little bit better with that double monk, which is surprising.
Yeah, the double monk and, of course, the resto druid on top of that. So definitely proving to be a very, very strong heal combination for Team ABN. Wouldn't be surprised if RBG Group see this video, see the stream, and be like, you know what, we're going to start running the double monk here because Team ABN really showing it how it's done. So Trendsetters, Moonfall right here. He's at his, is he trying to do a ninja? Yeah, he's thinking about it. But they couldn't 3v1 him last time, so
yeah. They may follow it up with Baby. I think that if he's gonna go for an ninja cap, I don't think that he would do it alone. I mean, Baby, of course, he's sitting Lighthouse right now. He's feeling pressure. They're going for the 3-cap climax right now, and Trendsetters, I mean, they're all peeling back, but ABN, they want blood. They want this 3-cap, and they're pushing in. They're showing that right now.
Yeah, you know, I honestly love the aggression. Team ABN just really trying to shut down Trendsetters right here. It's not only is this, again, there's still even at least another game left after this, but it's that idea. We're talking about Trendsetters. You got to go for something all in right here. Take a game and could put you back in the series. If you're Team ABN, it won't mean the series is over with 3-0 lead here, but yeah, that means they'll need to win 4 games in a row on Trendsetters, and especially winning this one in decisive fashion could really get in the mindset of Trendsetters. So that's what they're going for now. It's not going to work out in the end, but at least the try I do like. Is Zarya busting out the Transcendence Priest set, by the way? I mean, that looks Transcendency to me.
It does, just a little bit.
I like it.
Very nice. All right, so looking over to Waterworks there, I mean, ABN, he's got the base really locked up. Along with that, he has people floating between that and what looks to be mine. So they're trying to do what they can, but the fact that they were putting out pressure on that Lighthouse really was great because they managed to line it up and stall out the point game, which is what you really want to do when you're in this case. You have control of 2 nodes, stall out the game, put pressure on the third phase, force your enemy to think about what they have to do, play the mental game, and that's what they're really good at. Now that that delay is over with, that they have successfully defended Lighthouse, they can push back and recontest Waterworks, but at the same time, that just made them waste about a minute of their time.
Yeah, and exactly. The more minutes pass by, the more points have added up towards that ultimate victory for one team, in this case being Team ABN. So now they were able to pick off both one of the monks, Virelia, as well as VHO LOL. So Volol, I guess. Anyways, this is a little bit of an advantage right here for Trendsetters, but the resurrection, of course, close. And once again, you see the damage coming out in favor of Team ABN now. As did Volol die once again? Wow, he got bursted right away as soon as he came back in. But you look at the health meters on the side of Trendsetters. It's dropping pretty quickly on their side.
It is truly. I mean, they keep getting wiped in these mid fights. I mean, they're trying to set up the ninja caps, but the thing about it is that when you do that, in every fight in general, you're going to be down players when you have them ninja capping. It's smart, but it hasn't worked for you so far. So I think that what they might try to do, get all 10 of their players into a mid fight. Maybe even they might even ghost the base, because when it comes down to it, you're going to lose the game anyway. It's all or nothing. Bring all your players in, try and get a wipe. You know, I've seen some teams do that, and it has worked out for them. It just depends on what you can do.
Yeah, it has, and again, Trendsetter's really getting into that spot of just trying to be desperate once again. So, you know, it goes back to, again, they went kind of the all-in-ish strategy earlier on, did not pay off, and they've been playing from behind ever since. That's just how it works, though. Derivative, Baby, and Vigorous right now, all currently dead, waiting for the resurrection, and it could get worse here. Datacus looks like he's going to end up falling as he does, so Imongo, once again, he goes back to mine because, you know, it's one of those cases, why not try to make some big play here, some way, somehow get the ninja cap.
Not even camoing in
this. Yeah, he's just like, you know what, I'm coming, Beastmaster, baby, I got the red dragon right here, deal with it, so.
Well said. So, all of a sudden, Imongo, he's trying to push into mines here, get what he can for Team Datacus. I mean, at this point, it's really all or nothing. The point difference is too much to come back for, even with a 2-cap, it looks like, because they're way too close for victory. They got to try and go for a 3-cap, get a base. I mean, start there. Start getting a base, re-secure your control over the game, because right now they truly have none.
Yeah, again, it is the case. Yeah, 2-cap wouldn't even do it anymore. They would ultimately need a 2.5, if not a full 3-cap here at this point. So Trendsetters, again, it's now this wouldn't be the series here, so at least they have that to fall back on. Again, this is a best of 7, guys. This being the title fight here for tonight, but being down 3-0, that's not much better, obviously. And Team ABN on the other side of the spectrum, because again, it's Smitey, or not Smitey, but well, one of the analysts, I believe it might have been Gigas now. But anyways, point being, brought this up earlier before, I think it was the first game even, where it was 1,500 to nothing in favor of Team ABN, and he made the comment of, no, that was a lot closer than it maybe looked on the scoreboard, and people would laugh at that, but I can see where he's coming from, because again, in a game like this, and you can say the same thing here. Trendsetters was very, very, very close to having the advantage early on and ultimately working off of that, but it just did not work. And now, as a result, they're getting beat down. There's the 3-cap. That's going to do it for Game 3, it looks like.
Exactly. So there it is, the 3-cap climax from ABN. He gets it on the Team Trendsetters, and it looks like they are starting to lead this game as well. Surrender vote does come out. So just an all-around dominant match from ABN. I mean, Trendsetters, they are kind of like adjusting their comp slightly to each map, but I feel like not enough, They are coming into these games, they're trying to do what they can to recover, and I feel like they're getting a little better with each passing game. But it seems like it's a matter of seconds that with that Ninja Cap, they're going back to that at Mines. They could have had that. They were so close to that in the beginning, and they just weren't able to get it. So, USA Proxy PKB, they will take this one over Trendsetters 3-0 in the series as we move on to the fourth and possibly final game of this main event of the evening. Analyst Desk, talk to me about this. What did you guys think of that?
What didn't we think about it, man? That was a great game. What I really liked coming out of it
in the team fight,
it shows ABN's dominance in the team fight, you think?
Yep.
I think MVP of that game is for sure got to be Shane, man. That Teemo lock. I didn't quite see the 1v3. I know I at least saw 1v2 with iMongo. And Baby ghosting the node to get over there. Really smart of iMongo too to approach Shane earlier and get that trinket from him before they try to actually truthfully ninja the node. That being said, he has a demonology lock, so he probably has the secondary lock trinket to fall back on. And that Live Lord at 1% health, man, for sure MVP of the game. A big difference between Team ABN and Team Datacus Trendsetters right now too is PK over Baby. PK was in that team fight, doing work, making sure the kills were there, and he was securing it. The other thing to think about is ABN has almost won this series. He's got one more game to win. He hasn't even played yet, so he's for sure psyching out Datacus right now, just from a pure leader perspective, which is kind of impressing. I don't know, Smitey, Belly, what do you guys think?
I think the problem is with Datacus, this kind of comp, he wants to run this kind of bursty dot comp, playing with double Shadow Priest, but he doesn't really consider the fact that you need an athlete lock to make it work. It's not going to work because you need them dots to be ramped up. You need to try and get that burst out.
And also the double monk kind of counters it.
Indeed. Double
monk
revival is so strong.
The bubble.
Yeah.
Or the revival.
In the revivals, yeah.
Yeah, I think double monk is definitely really strong. And all ABN is saying is, hey, it doesn't matter what trend you're trying to say. You do the comp, I'll do the players with the skill, and I'll take skill over comp any day. And I think it's working for him so far. Obviously, 3 games up on a best of 7, pretty impressive, man.
Honestly, ABN's comp's still pretty strong. It doesn't just because some people think Shadow Priests are good doesn't mean they actually are. Like obviously, top tier locks can probably outplay them, as we saw right there.
Plus provide more utility. I mean, look at that Shane in the MVP spot playing Demo. And the ability of ABN's players to play different specs, within the same class is really, really key for him.
Yep.
We have a map choice.
The level of play they bring is insane.
What map?
Silver Shard Mines.
Nice.
Okay, there it is. Yeah.
We gotta go to.
I
like this map
I could see Datacus 4-heal, maybe.
You think so?
You think he would do it?
Why not, right?
I don't think Datacus is going to. No.
Try something.
Yeah, mix it up.
I think he needs to drop the second Shadow Priest, though, for sure. That's crazy. To still be going, trying to force this composition. I think it's just a little pig-headed at this point, man. It's not working for you. You gotta drop something, change something up.
Yeah, maybe go 4-heal, I think.
Yeah, one of those priests go disc or holy. Typical Belly Costco move.
I think 4-healing for this map is a very viable option. Disc is the strongest healer on mines, I think. Just because the Mass Dispel, there's no mana issues with Leaf. Maybe one of them will go disc. We might see that.
It's a strong possibility.
I want to point out too that the damage charts at the very end there. I actually noticed that the Shadow Priest on the side of Trendsetters actually had the highest damage. He had over 11 million damage. Nexus was 9 million. So I mean, again, he's at least was able to do some good damage, but clearly that doesn't result in a victory.
It's going to be countered by healers like Vo. Vo and the double monk is just going to completely destroy that. Like you can't. I've never seen a team with Vo on get rotted. Just the amount of healing he puts out is insane.
And we are in game.
Vo is pretty godlike, that's for sure.
He is.
They're switching
The
back
thing too,
to
with that
the
double
old
monk,
school
it's very surgical in the way they heal. You know, with Vo just doing that general overall, you know, pure number healing, like Belly was saying earlier, and then these monks just coming in and putting in those bubbles, you know, putting in those direct heals to make sure everything just stays copacetic. With two of them too. Yeah. With two of them, it's really hard to track which one is even use the cooldowns. You know, obviously if you have add-ons and everything, you can, but in general, you can't just say, hey, go the monk, he used his bubble. It's like, well, did they cross use the bubble? You know, which one used it? That kind of situation. Obviously, we get to see it, and some of them with add-ons get to see it, but it's hard to pinpoint down and take advantage of healer mistakes when you have this healing comp that ABN is set up.
Yeah, exactly. And Team ABN, again, ABN choosing not to play in this one. He's going to bring in Specs in the Warrior, and keeping with that double lock that we saw last game, I believe. Team Trendsetters, they're still sticking with that Shadow Priest, the double Shadow Priest. They're sticking to their guns on this one. Smart move?
No.
Yeah.
No, double Shadow's not
Is
going
anyone
to.
gonna say smart move? Like,
I honestly think that just doesn't have the players to not run double Shadow Priest right now. I think he has no locks online.
Really?
Which is really Yeah, I think his player pool is kind of limited.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. I mean, for all we know, like we're acting like this is a real sport where they have all these substitutes constantly, you know, being there. It's, you know, maybe that is simple as that. But here we go, kicking it off right off the back and testing, of course, for the mine as we see here. And both teams definitely want the one that they're at. I believe that's the middle card, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that would be Lava. Go ahead.
That's the Lava? Okay.
They will contest that. So both teams trying to do that. A very aggressive early strat. Both of them trying to do that. And I think that's pretty smart on them. They may look to turn the cart, probably not, though, because this is in Trendsetters' favor. They want to get the cash grab, and they want to get the points right off the bat. ABN, he's going to take bases. What looks like to be... No, they've got top as well, so looks like ABN's got middle, and that's about it.
Yeah, definitely the big contestants here. And, you know, we do see it going down towards the Lava, of course. Now, there was this idea that was brought up as it seems like, again, Team ABN has advantage there. But kind of going to real quickly. Speaking of the flip, how the double flip, apparently, it could be a possibility. You flip it down towards the Lava to kind of think that you're going one way, and then you flip it to the top at the last second to go the other way. You think we could see that here today?
I think you're definitely going to see that. You know, that's been a really popular strat that's been getting run on live. And I think that's very likely that you'll see that strat today. As you saw there, Mongo, he peeled out, and ASVP Stungo dropped down. Because of that, they are now at a numbers disadvantage in this Lava cart, and that's really what this game all comes down to, the numbers and who can stay in that for the longest. And right now, ABN, he's got that cart, and he's looking to secure a second cap of the game.
Yeah, there's the pulling with the DK to perhaps try to maybe push them away or something like that, push them out, but it's not going to happen, and that will be a cap for Team ABN. So off the bat here, you see obviously the advantage they do gain, 357 to 64 currently. Now, of course, is the peel game that's going to be happening. Everyone's slowing everyone else as they're making their way back to the cards, but we'll see which cards are put as an advantage. I mean, so if you're Trendsetters here, knowing that, you know, Lava didn't work, whatnot, which card are you really trying to put the focus on, you think?
Look, right now, you know, Lava, they may look to... I think here's what they may look to do here. They may look to turn Lava to try and... Okay, so they lose top there. They got the residuals, but... Looks like they lost top. Wow. So that's 3 caps right here.
Baby was there, but he just couldn't do anything about it. Jamie Woods fought him off.
He got tapped out of the cart. They may look to pressure Lava. I think that's a very smart choice that may look to do that. Either that or mid right now. A lot of these teams tend to like to go with a very safe strat, which is rotate between Lava and middle, take those carts, and then send maybe like one person top because it's the longest route. The residue points, they are they're helping Datacus a little bit, but very minorly so far. Because what ABN is doing, and I think that this is really, we saw this in the last game, it's the one and done. They like to hit up the carts at the very last minute. The backdoor dream, basically, where they come in at the very last second, steal the cart, and then move on forward.
Yeah, so, you know, trying to catch them off guard in that sense. You know, it does make a lot of sense on paper, but the practice of it, no doubt, very difficult because, you know, by the time you try to go for the getting in there at the last second, obviously the other team could be very aware of it and fight you off, slow you down to make it so it's very difficult to do that. Now, Trendsetters, they do get a couple more points. We say they did get a card cap, but it seems like Team ABN, they're the ones fighting. It's going to be back at Lava, though. It's back at Lava is where it's at, where we all started here. But you see Zaryu's in the front lines, and they're going to try for the strat you're just talking about and maybe get in there the last second, but it just ain't gonna happen. They don't get there in time. Again, that's what I was talking about. You know, the slows happen, the crowd control happens. Clearly, they knew what was going on in Trendsetters' mind, and they fight them off. And I hate to say it, but Team ABN, they have a huge lead here of what could be the final game if they do pull it off.
Exactly, and as you saw there, they took control of 2, now 3 carts they have dominance over in this map. They have complete map control over this Silver Shard Mines, and that's so important when you get into these games. They aren't changing carts there. Okay, so they're going to be able to take it back for Trendsetters at top. But they're not necessarily changing the tracks. They don't feel a need to. Trendsetters, I think that they should, personally. But, I don't know. That's the reason why I'm not in this tournament, But still, the fact of the matter is that they may look to change the carts going up in the future. USA ABN, I mean, they're just doing the one and done, and it's working out very well for them. And Trendsetters, they will leave, and it looks like this will go over. This may well be it. Yeah.
Wow, such a climactic victory right there. Unfortunately not. So, Team ABN, though, that is going to do it. And, well, you know what? They won the previous event that we ran, the Battle of the Atlantic, as you said. And, again, from my understanding, pretty decisive fashion. They're showing why right here. And, I think the biggest thing to really take into consideration here is, again, I believe that ABN himself, again, wasn't called with him. I don't think it's just that he happened to be not here for the event.
Yeah, of course.
He was simply doing the leading from outside. So, but, well played by the team as a whole. I think the biggest... Now, I don't know how true this is, but maybe they were and people just didn't realize, but the analysts were also pointing out that Team ABN didn't practice at all. Like, they didn't play since the last event.
One game.
So, clearly not the biggest deal in the world.
Oh, no, they did play a little bit.
They did? Okay.
They played a couple games, I think 3 games earlier today.
Oh, okay. So it was today. So today was their only practice day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so that's an update.
It was mainly for PK to set up his new rogue.
Well, there you
he had to gear it and stuff.
How about that? So even getting prepared in that sense before, but it really goes to show, the top class players here clearly, and again, an RBG scene that's still, especially with events like this, still somewhat fresh and somewhat new. Going to be interesting to see if more interest that comes along, and usually things like this aren't dominant forever by any means, but right now, Team ABN, I think it's hard to state that they're not the dominant RBG team right now out there.
Exactly. This is 2 tournament victories in a row. They have taken the Battle of the Atlantic, and now they've taken RBG Fight Night, and they've held on to their championship title, which means that there's a rematch coming next week, and it's going to be Team USA Proxy, PKB, SXX, ABN versus E-Heroes on the 20th. That is a matchup that you guys don't want to miss. That's huge.
I believe the last event now, Team ABN did defeat them 4-1, but again, things are different this time around. You can say E-Heroes coming in with some momentum. They're coming out with a 3-0 victory over Team NAS, so I'm actually excited to see how that one turns out, definitely.
I'm very excited for the upcoming Fight Night. So, in the series, it looks like we have our champions of Fight Night 1. It's going to be USA Proxy, PKB, SXX, ABN, taking it over in a very dominant style against Trendsetters in a 4-0. Congratulations, guys. Very well played. And let's send it over to you guys quick. Break down this game for me. I mean, what can you really say here?
Oh, it's pretty easy. All you can say is PK over Baby, man. I mean, Baby was just getting wrecked by PK in that game. On that, on that Earth or that top card, he just got it last second. Baby just, the lack of awareness, that kind of thing. That skill of one player over another translates to the entire teams as well. Team ABN, there's just each player is just a little bit more skilled than the other teams. If Datacus really wants to bring something like he did tonight, a new comp or something, he's gonna have to also bring the skilled players, and he just didn't. That's how you lose a series. Maybe E-Heroes can 2 weeks from now. I don't know.
Never know.
Well, honestly, you can't really say that his players aren't skilled. He has some of the best players for RBGs that they're around, but
no, I'm definitely not saying they're skilled. I'm just saying, like, every time, it was a 1v1 like that, you put PK against Baby. I mean, it's pretty easy to see when those 1v1s happen. PK is just a little bit better.
PK is gonna come out like on top.
Right, and that's what we saw all night. I mean, Shane doing that 1v2 in the map before that, like every single note that we have from Team ABN
has a lot of survivability.
Even on the EOTs, though, like, again, PK just recapping on iMongo at the MT. Like, every single time that, they would bring a certain skill level, Team Datacus would bring another skill level, and then they would just come back and just match it every single time. And that's impossible to win against if they do it every time.
Absolutely. I think it comes down a bit to what we talked about earlier on, about the kind of whole dueling system and personal kind of achievements. Like, you've got to look at what people go against. Like, you have, obviously, Baby versus Unseens. You think to yourself, okay, Unseens is a multi-glad rank 1 rogue. For me, I've heard about Unseens, and obviously playing on Europe, it's a lot kind of harder. You can only hear about the key members of kind of the US groups that have played in huge tournaments like BlizzCon. So I haven't really been particularly heard of Baby, but I've heard of Unseens just purely because of how big he is in the RBG scene in the US. And I think it comes down to these kind of dueling situations and stuff like that for all of these kind of ninjas and all the rest of it. I just feel that ABN's team has kind of got it locked down, and they've got the kind of players that all play kind of on a skill level for themselves, it's a little bit higher than any other team right now. They've really proven that.
They have that built-up synergy too. There's definitely like Smexon and all stuff like that. They play threes together, arena together, and so that synergy always exists.
Also, for the mines, I just got confirmation that the other team did do some very in-depth. ABN's team at the start, they did a double flip. I'm getting that they did do the double flip, which we talked about before.
Yeah,
could be a possibility. I just got confirmed from 2 other players that they did do that, and they just wanted to be brought up that was one of the new.
Yeah, exactly. We did
without Alan there to do it. That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's
ABN
crazy.
The double flip. Honestly, I think that might have given them the 3. They got 3 cards at the start, which kind of gave them the. Yeah. And I think the double flip probably played a good part in that, just to throw Team Datacus off.
It definitely did. All right, guys. Well, hey, really great matchup, really great series here, and congratulations to ABN. On March 20th, next fight night, they're going to be facing off against the one, the only Team E Heroes. And before we go, we want to do a really quick giveaway to you guys one more time. Make sure that you're following the stream if you guys want to get this. It's going to be Heroes. So another Heroes of Storm beta key for US. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your viewership. We appreciate you guys watching these matches. And please do join us on March 20th for the next fight night. It's going to be USA Proxy PKB SX6 ABN versus the one and only E Heroes in a matchup, European versus US, that you're not going to want to miss. Thank you guys all for watching. Take care tonight. My name's Desecration, and joined by our esteemed analyst, Pat.
Yeah, can we get some shout-outs here?
Can we do some shout-outs? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, cool.
CPK, Heroes of New Worth Caster, fantastic. Gigastel, of course, RBG leader and personality. We've got, of course, the one, the only Smitey from Europe, and, of course, the one, the only Belly Casco, RBG lead in the US. So congratulations to you guys. Thank you guys all for watching tonight. And, of course, Synapse, I want to thank you as well for putting the whole stream together. And of course, let's shout out the whole Gamers League list while we're at it. On our list here, joining me, we have, of course, Possum, who organized the entire event together. Great job. Snods, her co-manager as well. And we want to thank our graphic design team, BSG Entertainment, and Mr. Dan's LTE, along with Vadrak, for putting together this add-on and making all the graphics for the tournament. You guys did a kick-ass job. Very well done.
Yeah. I mean, if I could, shout out to you guys for tuning in. Obviously, myself, I'm new to this. I'm new to this as far as World of Warcraft goes, and I've been playing it though for over 10 years now. I played vanilla. That's where I started at least, and I'm still very passionate. I still love this game, even though Heroes of New Worth, the game that I cast, and obviously I love that game as well. But I was glad that I got this opportunity, and definitely look forward to more in the future. And hopefully you guys enjoy the cast overall. And it's great working with you guys too.
Great working with you, my man.
If you ever want to come cue the Rat Leagues break, you can come hang out with me.
I could carry some of you guys. If you want.
I'll take you to the rank 1 Rat Leagues any day. More than one. Good to have you.
Oh, and shout out to Gigi for helping me fix my proxy when it went down. And yeah, I had some issues, but it's resolved now.
Absolutely. And on that note, a special thank you to Proxy.net. They actually resecured all of their servers in advance for this tournament, so very well done there. And of course, we want to give a shout out to Green Man Gaming as well for their continued support of the tournament, and Blizzard Entertainment as well for working with us. Thank you guys all for watching. We appreciate it. This is Desecration along with all of Gamers League signing off here. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right.